for the better years. There's a song about fighting from within, see? Yo, schismatic, so get ready for some cannons. I finna got them elders on my side. We finna turn in the Orthodox tide. We representing the soldiers from wicked body, Kirill shaking when they hear our names sing. We be shaking our fists aggressively. We be crumbling when they commit heresy. We be making vids of the infractions. You're not commune, but we in different factions. Burn and die, be agreeing with me. Don't you be causing schism when you see heresy. Just be making vids looking angrily at them abortions and homosexuality. How can you say you don't venerate the priestess says killing babies is okay? And can you say you don't agree with the patriarch's ties to masonry? The holy elders say you're wrong. They were sanctified by the institution. If they're not today Kabbalists, we follow their word to absolution. We don't care for the church triumphant. We be adding everyone in the face confession. And if you don't follow us, we call you sycophant. Finna put economy in every situation. We beat them bad. We beat them bad. Be agreeing with me. Don't you be causing schism when you see heresy. Just be making vids looking angrily at them abortions and homosexuality. You do your thing, drop out, that's the sound of me got when you run your mouth. You don't know who you're messing with. The Peter here's gang. We got the cream, Father Moses, even though he ain't black. Daddy Wyford and Paul turning back, and them contemporary elders days got our back. I ban you if you see me accident again. Me beard be fine, so lift up me ben. Patios, Iakovos, they bless me with me here. To Ephraim and Porphyrios, I do a toss on prayer. You bring out them censor. Be agreeing with me. Don't you be causing schism when you see heresy. Just be making vids looking angrily at them abortions and homosexuality. We bring a canonical sound, Orthodox, Ethos, Patois edition. We bring your ecumenism and people veneration. Holding prayer rooms, tight live streams in session. We bring your canonical sound, Orthodox, Ethos, Patois edition. We bring your ecumenism and people veneration. Holding prayer rooms, tight live streams in session. Canonical sound, Orthodox, Ethos, Patois edition. We bring you ecumenism and papal veneration. Holding prayer rooms tight, live streams in session. Meaning before the better years, there's a song about fighting from within, see? Yo, schismatic, so get ready for some cannons. I finna got them elders on my side. We finna turn in the Orthodox tide. We representing the soldiers from wicked body, Kirill shaking when they hear our names sing. We be shaking our fists aggressively. We be crumbling when they commit heresy. We be making vids of the infractions. You're not commune, but we in different factions. Burn and die, be agreeing with me. Don't you be causing schism when you see heresy. Just be making vids looking angrily at them abortions and homosexuality. How can you say you don't venerate the priestess says killing babies is okay? And can you say you don't agree with the patriarch's ties to masonry? The holy elders say you're wrong. They were sanctified by the institution. If they're not today Kabbalists, we follow their word to absolution. We don't care for the church triumphant. We be adding everyone in the face confession. And if you don't follow us, we call you sycophant. Finna put economy in every situation. We beat them bad. We beat them bad. Be agreeing with me. Don't you be causing schism when you see heresy. Just be making vids looking angrily at them abortions and homosexuality. You do your thing, drop out, that's the sound of me got when you run your mouth. You don't know who you're messing with. The Peter here's gang. We got the cream, Father Moses, even though he ain't black. Daddy Wyford and Paul turning back, and them contemporary elders days got our back. I ban you if you see me accident again. Me beard be fine, so lift up me ben. Patios, Iakovos, they bless me with me here. To Ephraim and Porphyrios, I do a toss on prayer. You bring out them censor. and I be agreeing with me. Don't you be causing schism when you see heresy. Just be making vids looking angrily at them abortions and homosexuality. We bring your canonical sound, Orthodox, ethos, patois edition. We bring your ecumenism and papal veneration, holding prayer rooms, tight live streams in session. We bring your canonical sound, Orthodox, ethos, patois edition. We bring your ecumenism and papal veneration, holding prayer rooms, tight live streams in session. We bring your canonical sound, Orthodox, ethos, patois edition. We bring your ecumenism and papal veneration, holding prayer rooms, tight live streams in session. Meaning before the better years, there's a song about fighting from within, see? Yo, stiff is market, so get ready for some cannons. I finna got them elders on my side. We finna turn in the Orthodox tide. We representing the soldiers from wicked body, Kirill shaking when they hear our names sing. We be shaking our fists aggressively. We be crumbling when they commit heresy. We be making vids of the infractions. You're not commune, but we in different factions. Hand and I be agreeing with me. Don't you be causing schism when you see heresy. Just be making vids looking angrily at them abortions and homosexuality. How can you say you don't venerate the priest that says killing babies is okay? And can you say you don't agree with the patriarch's ties to masonry? The holy elders say you're wrong. They were sanctified by the institution. If they're not today Kabbalists, we follow their word to absolution. We don't care for the church triumphant. We be adding everyone in the faith confession. And if you don't follow us, we call you sycophant. Finna put economy in every situation. We beat them bad. We beat them bad. You be agreeing with me. Don't you be causing schism when you see heresy. Just be making vids looking angrily at them abortions and homosexuality. You do your thing, drop out. That's a sound on me got when you run your mouth. You don't know who you're messing with. The Peter here's king. We got the cream, Father Moses, even though he ain't black. Daddy Wyford and Paul turning back, and them contemporary elders days got our back. I ban you if you see minoxidil again. Maybe it'd be fine, so lift up me then. Patience, Iakovos, they bless me with me here. To eat farm and porphyrios, I do a toss on prayer. You bring out them censor. Hand and I be agreeing with me. Don't you be causing schism when you see heresy. Just be making vids looking angrily at them abortions and homosexuality. We bring your canonical sound, Orthodox, ethos, patois edition. We bring your ecumenism and papal veneration, holding prayer rooms, tight live streams in session. We bring your canonical sound, Orthodox, ethos, patois edition. We bring your ecumenism and papal veneration, holding prayer rooms, tight live streams in session. We bring your canonical sound, Orthodox, ethos, patois edition. We bring your ecumenism and papal veneration, holding prayer rooms, tight live streams in session. Meaning before the better years, there's a song about fighting from within, see? Yo, stiff is market, so get ready for some cannons. I finna got them elders on my side. We finna turn in the Orthodox tide. We representing the soldiers from wicked body, Kirill shaking when they hear our names sing. We be shaking our fists aggressively. We be crumbling when they commit heresy. We be making vids of the infractions. You're not commune, but we in different factions. Hand and I be agreeing with me. Don't you be causing schism when you see heresy. Just be making vids looking angrily at them abortions and homosexuality. How can you say you don't venerate the priest that says killing babies is okay? And can you say you don't agree with the patriarch's ties to masonry? The holy elders say you're wrong. They were sanctified by the institution. If they're not today Kabbalists, we follow their word to absolution. We don't care for the church triumphant. We be adding everyone in the faith confession. you don't follow us, we call you sycophant. Finna put economy in every situation. We beat them bad. We beat them bad. Hannah diarrhea agreeing with me. Don't you be causing schism when you see heresy. Just be making vids looking angrily at them abortions and homosexuality. You do your thing, drop out, that's the sound only got when you run your mouth. You don't know who you're messing with. The Peter here's gang. We got the cream, Father Moses, even though he ain't black. Daddy Wyford and Paul turning back, and them contemporary elders days got our back. I ban you if you see minoxidil again. Me beard be fine, so lift up me ben. Hey, shows Iakovos, they bless me with me here. To eat farm and pour for reals, I do a toss on prayer. You bring out them sensor. And diarrhea agreeing with me. Don't you be causing schism when you see heresy. Just be making vids looking angrily at them abortions and homosexuality. We bring you canonical sound, Orthodox, People's Patois edition. We bring you ecumenism and people veneration. Holding prayer rooms, tight live streams in session. We bring you canonical sound, Orthodox, People's Patois edition. We bring you ecumenism and people veneration. Holding prayer rooms, tight live streams in session. Sound, Orthodox, ethos, Patois edition. We bring you ecumenism and papal veneration. Holding prayer ropes tight, live streams in session. Million before the better years, there's a song about fighting from within, see? Yo, skizzy smarkets, you get ready for some cannons. I finna got them elders on my side. We finna turn in the Orthodox tide. We representing the soldiers from Wicked Body, Kiro shaking when they hear our names sing. We be shaking our fists aggressively. We be grumbling when they commit heresy. We be making vids of the infractions. You're not commune, but we in different factions. Hannah and I be agreeing with me. Don't you be causing schism when you see heresy. Just be making vids looking angrily at them abortions and homosexuality. How can you say you don't venerate the priestess says killing babies is okay? And can you say you don't agree with the patriarch's ties to masonry? The holy elders say you're wrong. They were sanctified by the institution. If they're not today Kabbalists, we follow their word to absolution. We don't care for the church triumphant. We be adding everyone in the face confession. And if you don't follow us, we call you sycophant. Finna put economy in every situation. We beat them bad. We beat them bad.
Through the prayers of Holy Fathers, for Jesus Christ, God have mercy on us and save us. Amen. Good evening. That was a dog. Good evening. For those new here, my name is Father Joseph Swaden. I've worked in Orthodox apologetics since 1998 and the founder of NFTU, Orthodox and Ecumenical News, since 2004. We've been in the apologetic space on Facebook since 2016, on YouTube since 2018, and if you appreciate what we do here, please like and subscribe. Today we do our live Q&A session, as always, where you can get your questions answered live, and as well as member-requested video reviews. So let's get started. And as always, if you want to jump on stream to ask a question or make a comment, please click the link at the top of the chat. We are always open to questions, comments, challenges, you name it. And of course, I'll be taking super chats from the YouTube chat. And if you want your question or comment without super chatting, I'll answer it, but you might miss it if I don't put it up. So let's get started. See a lot of comments. Yeah, I did start this with I don't know if they're a band, a person, etc. They created these songs under the banner Orthodox Ethos, and in fact, they actually, it was actually like 6 or 7 songs, so it was like an EP, and I thought it was pretty funny at the time. But okay, I'm that mousetrap is there for the mouse. That's it. Okay, so let's see what we got here. More of brethren. They can't even agree on the same color cloak. I wonder when that schism happened. You're referring, I assume, to the profile picture, to the thumbnail, which was Elpidophorus there at the installation of the Roman Catholic Archbishop, along with the head of the OCA. I forget his name. The Armenians, never knew his name, just recognized the hat. Just there in the altar for the installation. Standard, ecumenist procedure. Cornelio says, Father, your blessings. I also have to say this song in the intro is great. I don't take credit for it. God bless you. Good evening, everyone. Blessings from all the fathers in the chat. Okay, well, that doesn't include me because I'm not in the chat. Well, bless you anyway. Father bless. God bless you. The hottest TO Discord tracks, LOL, from Orthodox Traditionalist Publications. I know you shared it with me at least once. I was getting it from a couple of places. It was pretty funny. Yeah. Colin Live, Father Antonios, good evening. Yes, UW, the song is absolutely ridiculous, but it is funny and accurate, unfortunately. Yeah, it does describe that. John MC, I hope we've answered your question. As a member, of course, you get your chat on the screen. What is this music? It's Orthodox Ethos, Canonical Patois, and there were a bunch of other songs. Let's see, moreover, it says Apostolic Records latest drop, Black with Acolyte, LOL. Thanks. I'll see if I can find and download it. Want to get the exact words. Even I don't understand the exact words. I understand most of them. Hold your prayer, roast, tight live streams and session. Yeah, that's pretty much the line that gets everyone. Let's see here. Michael says, greetings from New York. Greetings, Michael. Yes, John MC says, I heard the name Whiteford mentioned in the lyrics. He actually goes through Daddy Whiteford, Paul Truenbach, a couple of other. Father Moses, I assume it's Father Lifbro. Yeah, it is catchy. BOA, Atomic Lead, good evening to all. Good evening. Michael, was that J Dyer? No, it was kind of making fun of J Dyer as well. You think we need this officially public? Talk to the authors. I have no idea who it is. And yes, muted, sound muted. I knew we'd start off muted. I really need to stop blaming the mic. There were like 5 minutes before this stream where I was like, and I have to unmute the mic so I don't look like an idiot. And I look like an idiot. John MC says, at that big Episcopal installation shindig on Tuesday the 11th, not only were the usual suspects present, but I say several Freemasons in full vestments. I did go through the video because I really wanted to get an angle of the Eastern offenders who were on the left side of the altar facing outward. It seemed like not one camera. I went through all 2 hours. It seemed like not one camera was focused directly on them. It had to be intentional. They had everything set up. Yes. No mic. Does Orthodox John have a YouTube channel? To my knowledge, no. And I will finish putting up the other 5 episodes of the open forum of 2022. Amen. We started early today. I also see the glasses. That you're not a member. Oh wait, you are a member. Okay, I can put that back up. Yeah, these are actually blue light blockers. Believe it or not, whether you realize it or not, I do spend a lot more time on the internet than I should. But I'm going to kind of start making use of that by reviewing a lot of the things that happened. Saba says, I know the people who made the song. 20 people. Well, you should get them to put that up somewhere. Father Beat Benedicite, yes. Sawing Mason functionaries and nobles of the mystic shrine drag fezzes. Okay, so yeah, that video is available if you want to see it, and everyone who gets up and does it. Yeah, there's a lot of weird people. I'm pretty sure I saw a Muslim guy, unless he was a Shriner. We need a Phronima song. I think one exists. Father bless. May God bless you, John. Right. I noticed the same thing. They were purposely omitted from the scene. Very carefully. All you saw was that Epidopherous greeting. And that was it. And yeah, of course, the camera wouldn't focus on them. One of the people who made the song just messaged me on Telegram, actually. Well, tell them to put it up so people can find it. All right, so let's get started. Obviously, we, the one thing I want to talk about is obviously that event on Tuesday. So I will be putting up the article and reading it from Orthodoxy, from Orthodox traditionalists. Acidophilus. I thought acidophilus was a isn't that like that's what do you call those? The not for your gut biome, the probiotics. Or at least that's the head of a family of probiotics. There are different kinds of acidophilus. Thankfully, we got Chad Roquefort MP. Don't worry. Sure, yeah. Ecumenism only happens in New York. Trust me. Sure. I mean, we've been through this. All of us. We've seen them putting it up. Someone says, "Never mind the person who made it." Okay, so it was one guy. Maybe he was using AI or something. We will see. That seems to be the thing now. There's apparently like some attempt at World Orthodox emo from the Orthobros on SoundCloud. I heard that this week. I was like, I heard this for late last year too. So it's just like we're gonna get into a musical AI war, I assume, and I'm probably gonna buck that trend and look for independent music most people haven't heard of for my backgrounds, but we'll see. That one, it was only fair. It had to go up. It deserved its exposure. Yeah, okay. Stanley says I might know who made it as well. I don't. I don't. So we'll start here from an email from Kevin Klein. First off, okay, thank you so much. First off, and again thank you for donos. But the question I got was today it was pointed out to me that Saint Gregory Palamas fasted so hard he had to get medical attention, and this was in violation of the canons. Another example given to me was St. John Maximovich, who fasted so hard he lost the ability to speak. And this person pointing this out to me said they're portrayed as good things because the saints did them when they're not. Do the canons forbid over fasting to the point of self-harm? The answer to that question is no. The canons don't actually prescribe against medical attention. I'm aware of no canon whatsoever that does this. And so yeah, I would probably ask the person who told this to you to show you the canon in the rudder. I've never heard that. We all understand in true Orthodoxy, everyone understands that if someone needs medical attention, it should be gotten. It's not a great sacrifice. There are many older and infirm monks and nuns, etc., and they're allowed to eat, even meat if they have to for their recovery. We want to not get into this habit of looking at ways of hurting ourselves. And I'm sorry to say this, but in modern society, hurting yourself is a normal way of dealing with suffering and pain. The church never advises this. There are rules to the fast, and there is a difference between a person suffering mentally because he can't eat a cheeseburger and a person physically suffering who needs medical attention. And those things are separate, and they should know that. Stanley says we were DMing once and he sent me like 1,000 different Orthodox ethos meme songs. I only know of 6. The guy who made Cybercrapper says the guy who made it is from my municipality, I think. Okay. That can mean a lot of things. So yeah, that's I think let me see here. Saba said, one of my godchildren sent me something a while back of some Sad Boys emo band that had an icon of Father Seraphim as their album cover for some reason. I think that's actually what was put on the on SoundCloud. Probably those ones. Then Stanley says, okay, so as you know, it is the live Q&A session. So if you want to jump on live, if you have questions, you want to talk about Orthodoxy, you have questions about true Orthodoxy versus world Orthodoxy or anything of that sort, just jump on the stream, use the link on the top, and we can get started. John says, Stanley is back. Welcome back. And so this is good. Let's take a look here. So, of course, we want to first review this article because of the fact that it is. We also did an article on NFTU where we explored further from the article about how Bishop McElroy of the Roman Catholics actually sat on a bunch of sexual scandals. Sava says, talk about the latest debacle with LP. I'm loading it up right now. Like loading it up. Okay, so we're loading it up. So let's present it. And then let me see here. Okay, and we are presenting, and we're going to shrink us, and we're going to go through that. So this is from Orthodox Traditionalists, which inspired the NFTU post, which is why I'm not going to go over the NFTU post. But it says, spitting in the face of the fathers, world Orthodox participation in Papist Mass following the Sunday of Holy Orthodoxy. So, let me just go here. In yet another surprising act of heretical ecumenism among the world Orthodox, primates of the Greek Archdiocese, the Orthodox Church in America, and the Serbian Orthodox Diocese of Eastern America, their respective first hierarchs, Elpidoporus, Tikhon, and Irenae, prayerfully participated in the heretical Papist Mass during the installation of Roman Catholic Cardinal Robert McElroy as the 8th Archbishop of Washington, D.C. As reported by the Orthodox Observer, the media arm of the Greek Archdiocese of America. Oh, Doogie, where's Doogie? Hold on. I have a dog here who's crying, but I'm not sure what she's crying about, and I'm not even sure where she is. She under the chair. There you are. Why are you acting so goofy, Doogie? Why are you being such a goofy Doogie? Anyway. As reported by the Orthodox Observer, the media arm of the Greek Archdiocese of America, in a tag post with the Department of Inter-Orthodox Ecumenical and Interfaith Relations, on March 11th, 2025, His Eminence Archbishop Elpidoporus of America attended the installation mass of the 8th Archbishop of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Washington, His Eminence Cardinal Robert McElroy. He personally congratulated the newly installed Archbishop. The ceremony, held at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception in Washington, D.C., included a service and procession of local and visiting cardinals, bishops, and clergy. Cardinal McElroy was installed by His Eminence Cardinal Christophe Pierre, Apostolic Nuncio to the United States. Such official terminology in an Orthodox publication. In early January, Pope Francis appointed Cardinal McElroy, then Bishop of San Diego, as Archbishop of Washington, and accepted the retirement of his predecessor, Cardinal Wilton Gregory, Archbishop of Washington since 2019. The Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Washington includes Washington, D.C., and 5 Maryland counties: Calvert, Charles, Montgomery, Prince George's, and St. Mary's. Now, here we have, I guess, as big a picture as we can get. You're not getting anything from the video that's going to be bigger than this, but you can see Elpidophorus, you can see Tikhon, you can see the Armenian guy, you can see a Coptic guy. I don't know who those people are. It's just way too far to see. But the point is, so this is funny in 2 ways. In the first way, it was funny because it's funny because of the fact that, of course, Elpidophorus is doing this and shaming Orthodoxy, and no one's going to do anything about it. But also, for all the Monophysites pretending and cosplaying as true Orthodox, yeah, your guys are in there too. So, like, stop. Just stop being cosplayers. And so that's, it's nothing surprising for those who are longtime viewers of the channel or readers of NFTU. Yeah, and let me see here. And let's see. What do we got here? Let's see. Okay. All right. I'm like trying to find like comments that are kind of okay. Another Stanley who became a novice. All right. And I got a crying dog. The Marble King will come back and expose everyone who attended. Don't worry. Yes, of course. I'm gonna skip the confusion about. Let me see. Ethan Wayne says, "Man, it's like nobody can pronounce His Eminence's name correctly." LOL. Well, it could be El Pitoforos. I assume that may be it. I just don't care enough. Ethan Wayne in the chat. People are like, Ethan Wayne is in the chat. Well, congratulations, Ethan Wayne. Welcome, I guess. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, of course, it's it's a live stream where we hope people will come in and talk about their questions or issues, and the chat always looks different than that. So let me see here. I'm finishing up the collection of Ukrainian saints. I should have that finished by the end of the week. Will be a St. Euphrosynos Cafe exclusive. I will add that St. Euphrosynos Cafe, we have some technical things we have to take care of, but we're hoping that that's going to be really big in 2025. Okay, welcome, Unseen Warfare. How are we doing today?
I'm all right. How you doing, Father? You're blessed.
Moving around. God bless you. And the Father and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Let's see here. Sunrise says World Orthodox claim it was all just a misunderstanding with the Monophysites. Possibly. I don't know how you get a misunderstanding for a formal invitation to a formal event, and then you formally show up. So I am curious as to what they mean by a misunderstanding. They were obviously there on purpose.
We didn't mean to invite them. Yeah,
it was totally an accident. Totally an accident, guys. Let me see here. Daniel Anglo says, where can a World Orthodox read that she is what they coming with? Is there a direct clause in the rudder or the Bible, or is it not as obvious? I'm not even sure what you mean by that. What do you mean by where can a World Orthodox read that he and she is what they are coming with?
I think he's saying.
I think people like, are you mean like communion by like connection? Like in other words, like the whole, I mean that's association basically. Oh, okay. Sunrise says, no, I think they meant the heresy of the Monophysites was just a misunderstanding. No, I don't think it is. I think they like using the term Mia because it implies they're not Monophysites, even though it means the exact same thing. And they are, doing the same thing they're always doing. It's not realistic. Unless it's a doctor of a certain type. Yeah, well, that's a given, MC Chili, I mean, yeah, I still heard some like David Erhan combat this view. Yeah, I'm not concerned. Where can a World Orthodox read that he or she are what they commune with? Is that not a statement in the? Is that a statement in the Rudder or Bible, or is that not obvious? Yeah, okay, so that's what I thought. You can find that in the canonical practice of the church and also the canons related to fleeing heresy, and you can read the commentaries. It's a given that if somebody is preaching heresy, you have to flee from that. And this is part of the problem, is that when they say, well, what about people who are in communion with that? Well, people are in communion with that for a reason. So a person who says, I'm in communion with them, but I don't recognize the heresy they're preaching, doesn't make any sense. Because if that would just mean that they're not following their responsibility to flee a heretical bishop. And that would mean a person who is doing it in that way and would say, well, this guy's not preaching that heresy. Yeah, but that guy had a responsibility too. So you're just following under somebody who isn't following the canonical procedure.
In the Bible, Galatians 1:8, but even if an angel from heaven should preach a gospel other than the one we preach to you, let him be under God's curse or accursed, So.
Yeah, so Stanley says, unless you mean certain bishops, dung up a stream contaminates the whole river downstream. Yeah, I guess. Wishing Frank, can you finish reading? Yes, we will. And so I will get to that in just a moment. Let's get to that. And So all those pseudo-bishops from the three major World Orthodox jurisdictions remained throughout the entirety of the hierarchical Novus Ordo Mass. Each of them can be seen participating on the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Washington's YouTube channel, participating in the blasphemous creed of the Latins, the recitation of the Our Father, the polluted consecration of the Latin pseudo-mysteries, and finally giving the kiss of peace to the papist clergy serving at their altar. As ultra-Orthodox Christians know, this heretical ecumenist activity is absolutely contrary to the canons of the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. Yet without impunity, these false teachers and pseudo-bishops violate Apostolic Canon 45, Canon 64, Canon 33 of the Council of Laodicea, which state respectively, Canon 15, let a bishop, priest, or deacon was only prayed with heretics be excommunicated, but if he has permitted them to perform any clerical office, let him be deposed. If any clergyman or layman shall enter into a synagogue of Jews or heretics to pray, let the former be deposed and the latter be excommunicated. Canon 33, no one shall join in prayer with heretics or schismatics. And also in attendance at this mass, standing alongside Bishop Elpidophorus or Elpidophoros, Tikhon and Irenae throughout these liturgical events were representatives of the ecumenically condemned Monophysite jurisdiction, as well as other non-Christian figures, including a female Jewish rabbi and a Muslim imam. The Lord himself has warned us of these false teachers in Scripture, saying, beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravening wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits. This is a very worthwhile article to read in that it does include even more liturgical references, etc., and I highly recommend it, which is why I'm putting it in the chat, and I will be adding it to the description page if you want to read it. I highly recommend that. And so let me see here. And I'm going to stop reading there. So wishing for rain, if you'd like, the link is there to finish up. It's mostly liturgical references to why we do not celebrate with these people. And all those who make the difference between me and Mono, I'd recommend them a lesson in simple Greek linguistics. Yeah, that's also true. One of the things that our cosplaying Monophysite friends will do when they pretend to be true Orthodox is pretend that this is a linguistic issue that the church didn't understand, even though all the major texts were in Greek. Obedience says if you type in McElroy scandal abuse cover up in a Google search, it's mind-blowing. I highly recommend that. And our article on NFTU, which does link to some of that. Okay, Stanley says, I always understood Mias means numerically one, mono means soul, but the non-Chalcedonians accept a composite nature. No, they accept a mixed nature, not a composite nature, because a composite nature would be, divine human fusion, which is diophysite. My Gorge priest says is a trad, so this is okay. Okay, the sarcasm doesn't drip any harder than that. Little Levin, and all right. So let's the next thing that we're gonna do here. What's going on today? Unseen Warfare, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I was
Any
thinking
new videos?
about,
Any new videos?
Yeah, I just did one on idealism. The Father Seraphim's letter to Thomas Merton. So I did that a couple hours ago, which went pretty well. But I was going to bring up, there's a video that you did, Two Natures Before Chalcedon, Patristic, Diophysite Language. Well, it's actually Bishop Enoch that read from it.
Yeah.
And there's a text on NFTU that people could check out with the same title. And there's another thing that you could look up.
There was
called The Non-Chalcedonian Heretics. Both are pretty solid on the issue.
Yeah, I actually had a non-Chalcedonian actually confront me on that text, on the text Two Natures Before Chalcedon on NFTU. And apparently he tried to say we changed the words of a saint, even though I pointed out to him that it was a copy of a direct translation that somebody else had made 100 years ago. And so it was a false accusation. And he stopped talking after that.
Well, yeah, they're the ones that kind of change the text and reinterpret, what St. Cyril said and the other saints, really.
Yep. So. Nope, very true. Memento Mori says, I know you joke, but I think this is why some old Orthodox hyper-focus on the smaller issues of piety, which seems to deflect from the bigger fish they need to fry. Very true. And so Stanley says their understanding of a composite nature leads to mixing. You're right. Yep. Memento Mori others seem to become indifferent or dismissive that ecumenism is even an issue. Well, that's part of the reason why I'm talking about it today, and I put the article up is because of the fact that the article has got thousands of reads, and over the weekend, and nobody has anything to say. Isn't that strange? Like, why aren't they saying anything? I mean, I suspect that this is part of the wall of silence thing they do because they have no other choice. They,
block and close your ears and eyes and
just nah, I can't hear you.
Yeah,
that's basically what they're doing. Sunrise says, Memento, you're right, kind of how it was with my experience in World Orthodoxy. And so, this is a good thing. Daniel says, if there's no grace outside of true Orthodoxy, how are we supposed to understand when good things happen to people outside the church? Is that to be understood as mercy instead of grace? I would say, yeah. I mean, frankly, it would be weird to say that God's not working in other people's lives outside the church. I mean, he does want his people to be saved somehow. And none of that's going to happen if the entire world, I would ask the question in reverse. Like, let's say only good things happened to true Orthodox and everybody else was just suffering miserably. It'd be weird. It would also be not how Earth ever worked. So I don't think that the assumption that good things happen outside of true Orthodoxy, outside the Orthodox Church, and I want to emphasize that. I think I'm going to make a little discussion on that. But it's one thing that's important to remember is that we've never always been the recipient of good things. We've never, we're talking about God's mercy, but we're talking about the grace of Jesus Christ. I mean, you can extend that further out. Why stop at World Orthodoxy? Why not the Roman Catholics? Why not the Muslims? Like, why not the Hindus? Like, if there's no grace outside of true Orthodoxy, outside the Orthodox Church, then okay, well, does that mean that we should accept that Hindus have grace? I think not. OTP says around 2,400 views in 48 hours. What makes it unbelievable is that they did it after the Sunday of Orthodoxy. I mean, for me, that's not really unbelievable.
On the topic of grace, I was thinking about this is like, the Holy Spirit is everywhere and filleth all things. As far as sacraments, though, there's a special type of grace that is imparted to the church. That's what I understand about it.
Yeah.
And in the case of World Orthodoxy, there, we do have people that say things like, well, maybe there's a possibility for those that aren't, aware of what's going on, that there could be a grace, or maybe God doesn't allow them to have grace to protect them in that situation. So that's not something that we necessarily know, but what we do know is that their hierarchies are in apostasy and in heresy, so we can't have communion with them. So That's my understanding on it.
Okay, and let's see what else we got in the comments. Short read, very good. I know of a Bulgarian priest in New Calendar Greek diocese in Britain, and said to me, my godson, we are basically in communion with Rome since the lifting of the anathemas. Yeah, he's the most honest World Orthodox priest. Ethan Lane says, I think a lot of the World Orthodox online are rather ignorant about how normative ecumenism is in our church. On that, I can agree with Sweden, but I would just say that it's not a bad thing. Well, you're admitting you're an ecumenist, and that's cool. But no, it's not funny. It's kind of, I agree with, Ethan is correct. He's not being dishonest, and I appreciate that. But
is he saying it's not an issue? Like,
he's saying it's not
just
a bad.
okay?
He's saying ecumenism is good. He said it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
So, what are you going to say to that? Memento Mori says, Father Joseph, Father Mikhail posted a new video about online zealotry, and someone asked in the comment if Elpidophorus is a heretic, to which he said yes. Someone asked if they should separate. I mean, we can look for the video. Let me see here. Continue on. Cybercrappers, Daniel Logan read Subdignitarius History of Resistance for more on your question about communion with heretics. Highly recommended. I agree.
Yeah.
Memento Mori says you responded to classic we're not Donatist argument. Of course. So I mean, let's review it. Let's find it. let's go find the Father McConnell video. Hopefully it's not too long. And I believe he's living Orthodoxy. If it is, let's take a look.
He did make a post on his channel talking about his father has some medical issues, so I would just pray for him on that note.
Well, I do like I do like his latest one. Hold on, let me see here. All right, so this is. I'm gonna go with. I'm assuming it's this one. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna put it in. Let's take a look and see what we gotta do here. And so, wow, the comments are flying. Once again, if if you want to support the channel, we at NFTU need your help, and we really do need your help this week. Support us by subscribing or donating at NFTU.net with various options like PayPal, Cash App, BTC, LTC, or Monero, or on Give, Send, Go. As always, super chats will be read on the screen, but I will spend a moment talking about finance because that's something that affects us. I'm technically low on cash, as in negative on cash, as in using credit card for paying for things, and I'm down about negative 30 technically in my account because I had a whole bunch of bills, almost got through it. Let me see here. Okay, Unseen has disappeared. You're in the hold on, it looks like you're in the thing. So just quickly, I just want to go through that. So YouTube, I don't know whether we dropped off, etc., temporarily in views or anything like that. But YouTube, so it'll be this month like 230 in 2 weeks, which is not even enough to cover the mortgage. But once again, I notice there's a lot of people asking for money online, so don't give anything that you can't afford. But if you can, helping out the channel would be really helpful. Thank you for that. Wow. Quickly, I got an Ortho Adjust for $10. Thank you for the prayers last week. My son Herman is doing better. Well, glory to God. That's the most important thing, is that helping each other in our community. And someone else just sent $5. Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it. This is good. That was via Cash App. By the way, if you use Cash App and PayPal, those are instant, so really helpful. And I will adjust my banners accordingly. So let's do that. Hold on. Let's see here. One moment, because I have to fix these by hand. I know that other people have these cool technological things to kind of do these things, like press a button, or they have a team or something. I do not have that. Give me just a moment, and I will put up everything. Okay, and for your super chat again, thank you for that. And I don't even, hold on, I'm trying to get everything here, so I'm going to save. And okay, so that was Ortho Adjust. Memento Mori, wow, with the 1999. Thank you so much as well for helping keep the lights on. I really do appreciate these. Super chats don't go straight to me, but they do add to that half my mortgage thing. So I really appreciate those too, because I'm trying to be as honest as possible, because if I'm not, like, I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like I still don't know how people want me to do these things. Do we want like a board at the end? Well, you can't even make a board at the end because this is live. So I guess I'd be like the board at the end from last week. Hold on, let me almost finish this. And okay, I think I got it all fixed. So if we save that, I think this has been good. All right, so we got that going. All right, so let's get through. So really appreciate that. Stephen Whitmore says, sorry, the first minute of this is what I was taught. Now I question this. I like your comment. I'm not sure what that means. GeoX St. Michael Kalia says, is this the dumbing down of the faux Orthodox? Is it an increased TOC apathy towards the faux Orthodox? I find myself in the latter. Who cares as long as the TOC are strong and getting stronger? Yeah, I actually agree with that sentiment. I mean, if you go to like all the True Orthodox channels that are on my page on YouTube, whether it be Orthodox Tradition, or some of the Romanian and other Greek groups and Bulgarian groups, you'll see that their synods are very solid. They've got, that, I mean, granted, the Bulgarians are getting a little bit persecuted right now. Bless you. And the kind of, they're not doing badly. Like True Orthodox, I have been, and I understand it. I get it. I remember in the 90s, especially in the 80s, people were in a very defensive position. They were very nervous that the patriarchates were going to take over their properties. Many attempts were made to do so, and this was a global thing from the 90s to the 2000s. But I think people have powered through it, and it's time for us to, acknowledge that and stop treating World Orthodoxy like it's like this big dog that it's not. I mean, I can point to any number of True Orthodox and especially their synods who have really very well and operational groupings. And so, okay, well, thank you, CL. Okay, one moment. This is good. I will be adding this. I still don't know if people want their names. I feel weird. I feel like everyone who's here knows who they are. And so I just want to call out CL. Thank you for your donation. It really does help keep the lights on, and that just solved my account problem. So now this is good. Let me see what else we've got going on. Okay, I appreciate you, Father, heading to Compline. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to. I wanted to put you back, but you know what? Good. Go to Compline. That's better than being on this. Honestly, it is. If you have a chance to go to Compline, why would you do this instead? I don't know. Go to Compline. What percentage of the super chat do you keep? 70%. Google takes 30% out of all super chats. So even though it's the highest chomper of the donation, it is also the easiest one, which is why most people use it. Reconquista Orthodox says, hello, everyone. Cornelius says, bless you too, Matushka, from us also. Okay. How much stuff did I miss? I'm like going back. I'm looking. TTC says, in World Orthodox, I experienced grace when coming to the realization that Orthodoxy is the true Christian faith, but the World Orthodox weren't truly Orthodox. So I think that's the difference. That's very true. If a person's gone all the way and they end up in a World Orthodox church where they believe in the 7 councils, I mean, all you have to do is just remind them that those bishops are not what they say they are. Salmon says, Evolugite, hope is fine. Oh, Kyrios. What video hit 4K? I think a couple of our videos have hit 4K. I was more impressed that we hit 250,000 this weekend, and we have 2,600 subscribers. So thank you to everyone. I don't know why people get like happy at like 5,000 and 10,000 and then jump to 25 and 50. Like I'm happy with like every 100 people that come here because that's 100 people who actually want to hear this. And that means that there's 100 people who are going to talk about True Orthodoxy to other people. That's a lot of people. Like, there is no business administration on earth, no supermarket, no restaurant, no movie theater that would not be happy with 100 people on any given day. And 2,600 is a lot of people. We're talking, I mean, granted, we just have to keep going. Seems like Living Orthodox has changed his views quite a lot. Yeah, we're going to review that video. Stanley says there's 2 ends of the copery spectrum. Either they're heretics, but you don't have to break communion with them, or you should break communion with these heretics, but these hierarchs aren't heretics. Yeah, but they're both saying the same thing. Father McCall, Orthodox Traditionalist Publication said he said yes, but only because the EP activity in Ukraine, not because of everything else he does. OGB says it's Father Mike now. Okay, that's different. We're calling him Father Mike. All right. When I heard from that priest that that's when I became active in looking for a true Orthodox parish, and my godson a Rokor onlyist. When I heard that priest, okay, that's why Father Spirit on Bailey switched to the Roquhorn like 2014. It's just out of the frying pan into the fire. Let me see here. And I still have no idea what the rest is going on. Let's see. Who was Father Spirit on with before Rocor? I don't know. I assume you're talking about Father Spirit on Bailey. Maybe he was with the churches of the Russian tradition under the kind of the Paris Exarch. I'm not sure. With that, let's see. With that said, all GOC must keep all mankind in our prayers for their salvation out of love for Christ. Absolutely true. That's from GOC St. Michael Kilia. Father Simeon, long supporter of the channel. He's very right here. Our task as Orthodox Christians is to be the light of the world, and our job is to, continue to do that. We cannot, we can't, I guess you could say, bunker in a corner or go running until the Antichrist is manifest on earth. And frankly, a whole bunch of people are trying to convince people that the Antichrist is manifest on earth. I read an update on the cows, for example, the red heifers they wanted to use to start the whole temple thing. The cows are failing. They're all getting white hairs. So there went your cows. There went all your money, all your Zionist money, spending massive amounts of money for these cows, and it didn't work. That's how God works. Let's see. Okay, and if to be fair, he did say he was concerned with ecumenism in the EP. My decision to move to Rocor was for a number of factors. Yeah, well, the problem is that by Rocor joining the MP, those factors become nullified. They're because you have the same problems in the MP. Cornel says, I personally met Father Spirit, and he's a nice person to talk to. He means well. I get that impression too. I get it. He's got a good heart, but he did what he thought was the right thing, and it might be the wrong thing. Reconquista, are we doing a 12-hour stream? Ooh, you asked the hard question, my friend. It remains at $150, which is actually one half of a 3-hour stream leading to a 12-hour stream. We have got nothing about the 12-hour stream. Nobody else has been interested in the 12-hour stream. And so I'm thinking, I hate to say this, but it's the 16th, and that stream was scheduled for this Friday. I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think people want to see me for 12 hours. And I understand that because I don't want to see me for 12 hours. Why would I want to do that? I'd rather eat some falafel. I'd rather not do that. So, yeah, let's continue on. Sorry, Reconquista, but it was a good try, though, and we really appreciate it. There were others who wanted to do it, but they didn't come through, man. They just want to talk about Olites and stuff, and very sad. But Stanley says, however, the actions in Ukraine convinced me to leave. And so that was like the breaking point for him, I guess. He does seem like a very sincere person, though. Yeah, he I'm sure he is, and I hope that he considers it. I'd talk to him. I'd see what we can do, but realistically, I think he's kind of put his heels in. Reconquista says Susan Wojcicki from her grave is taking 30%. No, there's a big corporation. Trust me, I'm sure they're enjoying something. I don't know what they do with that 30%. That's like worse than any like payment processor in history. But in any case, let's see. Stanley says he does sermons, but I will say thank you though because it helps with the mortgage. I'm down to 231 this month. That's what maybe it's because I downed on YouTube and I mentioned the 30%. They're like, that's it. Block his stream from being visible. I don't know. But we're doing good today. So he does sermons in the middle of the English countryside that rip your stride to shreds without trying to make a hot holy matrix like Father Moses did. I feel bad for Father Liftbro for that video. I didn't think it was that offensive. I thought he was trying to do bad comedy, and it was bad comedy. Sava says, congratulations on the subscribers and views. We can't stop now. Quintessential Christian says, hello, Father Swaden. Hello. Ecumenism is not just this is Ethan Wayne. Ecumenism is not just forwarded by the EP. That's a false narrative of Rocor converts online. It's pretty much like every World Orthodox church. I hate the fact that he's right, but he's right. That's what we've been saying for ages. All true Orthodox know that going to the Rocor MP when there's a living Rocor outside the MP, are kidding themselves. We know. So Ethan Wayne is 100% correct here. I hate to say that, but that's just the level of ortho bro cope we're dealing with. So that's just what happens. Stanley says, to be fair, in the UK, Bishop Irenaeus of London is not a humanist at all, to my knowledge. He would be Father Spiridon's bishop. I don't know that I agree with that. He may not be a humanist. I think there was thunder. He may not be a humanist. So if there's some divine judgment here, we know. We did have severe thunderstorms for tonight. Ethan Wayne says, Irenaeus is in schism from the Moscow Patriarchate. If he is in schism from the Moscow Patriarchate, then he is no longer in communion with the ROCOR MP. I have heard nothing of the sort. I do remember when he started his thing that ended up causing various issues, that he what's the word I'm looking for? He started going too wacky. Like it was stuff that we as the traditionalists would be like, wait a second, that's not right. Zelotis, God bless you, and thank you for your contribution. Thank you so much. Daniel Langloy for 50. Thank you so much. Very, very good. My son, 25 years old, is interested in true Orthodoxy. He is in Las Vegas. The priest there is sick, and the mission is on pause. My son is financially struggling. How can he continue growing the faith without a parish nearby? Is there another one you're aware of? I would, I kind of put that for the chat because I have not kept in strong touch. I assume that we're talking about the parish under Father Elias. I may be wrong. But the point is, even if the parish or the priest is not active, I should say, there should be people there under the priest who might be willing to do Typica services, keep things going while the priest tries to get better. That's like the hardest thing I can suggest, because really saying Typica, Orthodox Christians cannot behave differently if the priest is sick. There's every responsibility for the parish to go in, say the Typica, even if the priest can't, if the priest is sick, etc., and keep going. It's one of the things that a lot of new converts aren't aware of, but yeah, experienced parishes will know that. So let me go back and let me see here. Love your channel, Father. Thank you for that. This plus, okay, no problem. Isaac, I'm not sure what they're talking about. That DTC says candy cane cows. Oh, okay, it's about the cows. I wonder if red cow meat tastes better. To my knowledge, no. John Harder stream question: are we still doing the 24-hour stream? Okay, I just gave Reconquista the answer on the 12-hour stream. So you can imagine if people can't get it together for the 12-hour stream that Father Joseph doesn't want to do but will do because he's desperate for money, the 24-hour stream is probably not happening. Quintessential stream Christians says 24/7 stream. No, that would be the Truman Show, and I don't want to ever live in that world. Apex Theory says, Father bless, I'm a convert from atheism, still new. I was wondering if we were to take the miraculous accounts in the OT, i.e. Prophet Elias and the Chariot of Fire, DTC money symbol. I'm going to assume somehow that means that we take them literally. Yes, we believe that the Prophet Elias, etc., are real people and that those miracles were real. John says 30% to the synagogue parties. Yeah, I mean, YouTube's a conglomerate. We can go over. Stanley says the joke from Father Moses did go over my head, but without context, it just looks strange as heck. Well, he took it down, but the joke was, as I watched it, was that he was talking about like a perfect woman who's superly holy, etc., and then he was talking about a woman who's beautiful, etc., so on and so forth, but they're totally horrible. And then in the middle of the Matrix, he's kind of like, and then you find a woman who's like not really that holy, but she sort of tries, and a woman who's like, not the best looking, but looks great. And then there's women who just want to shop all day long using your credit card, like my wife, and that was the whole joke. That was the whole joke, guys. So it was kind of a clown on his wife. And okay, Reconquista for $2. Thank you for supporting the channel. Father of the Vax is a Jewish doctor named Jonas Salk. And as currently we have 61 viewers, I want to bet they all know that. Anyway, Father Elia, he's been sick for a while. Atomic lead, dramatic pause. Daniel, he can do the typical online. He can also order the Jordanville prayer book online as well. Those are two helpful things. Now, if you want all of the texts for online Sunday services and you want them handy, you will need a Swiss Army knife. I tell you, this is handy. This is cheap. At least it's cheap for now. Get it, and you'll have the Sunday typical services you need every week. Let's see here. But Daniel, because thank you for your generosity. I'll see what I can find. I'm gonna look a little deeper. Okay. Let's see here. Are you Daniel in Florida? Well, I'm sure he could be in Florida, Sava, but he said his son is in Las Vegas, so we're looking for Las Vegas. Okay, it's strange. My Bishop Renee is my local bishop. We commemorate him, Metropolitan Nikolai and Patriarch Kirill every liturgy, so I don't think he broke communion with the MP. Okay, that answers that question. Ethan, mind-blowing. He's still part of the Rogue RMB. John MC, you must be at a place not too far west of where I am. We are expecting thunderstorms in an hour or so. I'm actually to the east of most people. I'm only one state away from the Atlantic coast. So these are northeast Pennsylvania thunderstorms expected for 6 hours. Father bless, God bless you. A pretty beginner question, but I've been doubting the arguments, the accounts of Elias and the chariot of fire. Are we to take this literally? Is it mytho-history? I can't find much on this. Abex Theory, why do you, what's making you doubt the accounts of Elias and the chariot of fire? I think that's a better question. But Bishop Cornelius says, but Bishop Renee does show sympathize with the GOC. You can sympathize all you want, but if you're part of, the patriarchates, you're just part of the patriarchates. That's compromise. Well, Apex 3, sorry, it was a typo. I deleted it and I didn't know it went through. Sorry, no problem. Daniel says, thanks for all the answers. Yes, Sav, it's me, LOL. Hope you're doing well. Sav says, good to hear from you, my brother. Hope you and Tekla are doing well. God willing, we'll visit again one day. Yes, but we need to solve the Las Vegas problem. So we're going to look for that. Orthodox Traditionalist Publication says, Moses is the worst. Yes. Reconquista says, can you just watch a true Orthodox service on a big screen at home and follow along instead of the typical? Great question. I've had this before, and my answer is still no. It is good to watch the services at home. Don't get me wrong, especially if you don't understand them. However, God does not command us to watch people's prayers. God commands us to pray. And so we need to, as best we can, even if all we can do is typical on Sundays, do that typical. You can also watch the Divine Liturgy service, not just for inspiration, but for choral training, but you still have to do the prayers yourself. If you miss prayers, you miss prayers. Me watching them on many days, I love watching different services, whether in English, like what they do in Orthodox tradition, and Bulgarian especially. The Bulgarians have live services all the time as well. Where is that? Bishop Triaditsa. They're live services, sometimes Vespers, sometimes Divine Liturgy, but watching it will not, even if you get a giant screen that is blasting it, you are not virtually praying. Now, if you start praying, if you say typical in English alongside what they're saying, I guess that would kind of count. I guess that would be kind of like VR Orthodoxy. Like you're reading the prayers at your stand, but they've got a stand and they're reading from the. I guess. It's kind of educational. I don't know. You'd learn a lot doing it. If you were reading the prayers while listening to it, you'd be learning. You'd be like, that's seminary level education right there. But it's remote and free. Let's see here. So I hope that answers Reconquista. HC, do you have a book recommendation covering the Orthodox Church view of Roman papal claims of the first 1,000 years of the church. Thanks. We don't. Do you know why? Because the first 1,000 years of the church, Rome didn't make those claims. No book. Sorry. Mach Stephanie says the Swiss Army knife is cheap because it's missing several hundred pages. Yeah, if you want to do the full services, then yes, it is not complete in that sense. But if you throw back to the 1940s or 50s, this book was used as the complete services. So it's not the best, but I prefer done than perfect. There's too many people just waiting to build a liturgical library that they won't read, and I gotta aim at those people. Let's see. John MC says Jonas Ark was a devout atheist, materialist, Darwinian, Malthusian. It's all in his book, The Survival of the Wisest. Hey, we have a call in. Welcome, Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Can you hear us?
Yes, hello.
Hi, God bless you. What's your
Hi.
question or comment?
Yes, I would like to know, from your perspective, like, what determines a council's ecumenicity?
It would be reception by the entire church.
Okay, and what does that actually entail, like reception by the entire church?
Well, the entire church on earth accepts that this council is not only orthodox, but one of the ecumenical councils, which is almost impossible because of the lack of imperial support after the 12th century. So you would, the pan-orthodox councils would at that point have the crown of authenticity that the ecumenical councils had.
Right, but when you say the whole church is it just the majority of believers, or it's not the?
It's the majority of the believers that understand the true faith. If we, for example, we know that Nestorianism is condemned in the councils.
Mm-hmm.
However, in the 6th century, Nestorians had missions that went all the way to China, India, so on and so forth. Numerically, they were the physically largest church, but they were never the church.
Right. So,
it's self-referential, I would say. Protected by the Holy Spirit, but also self-referential.
Right. So, like, it could be, it's not the actual, majority in terms of numbers, but
no,
majority in terms of like
those
adherence to the true faith. Yeah,
correct. Because remember, one of the major things that trips up Western converts and new converts, etc., is the misunderstanding that the ecumenical council is defining something. The ecumenical council is not defining something, it's preserving something. So let's say you take, like, for example, the first ecumenical council with Arianism. The people who held to the teaching that Christ was God before the council were correct. The council confirmed what they were saying. So the Arians were expelled from the church in a conciliar sense, but they were already expelled from the church from their heresy. So the purpose of the councils is to confirm the Orthodox faith as once given to the saints from Pentecost onwards.
Right. Yep. But would you say that if, let's say, a church or how would that be different from, I guess I would say, from the Protestant view that the church is just the body of believers?
I don't understand. Well, we don't believe that the church is just the body of believers. We believe that the church is the body of Christians, believers under the protection of the Holy Spirit that remained from the days of the apostles to now.
Right. Because I was just wondering, because sometimes I hear that Protestants would say there is a church, but it's not, it's not this visible institution. It's merely
right. They do not believe in the church as a visible institution, and that's they don't know. I mean, one could, in theory, get an unguided notion of an invisible church from reading the Bible in isolation, but I think after you read the Book of Acts, you have to start looking for it.
Right, but if like when you were saying that the majority of so-called professing Christians, right? Let's say fell into error or heresy, and let's say this remnant of believers
Hmm.
were actually the true Christians, right? So is then the church not like when you say the church, is it only applicable to them, or is it
Yeah,
just the larger part? Oh, okay.
yeah. And one of the things that is important to remember is that the church has waxed and waned in size over centuries. So
Yes.
the idea of um, a lost, see here or a lost church there, the church works around it. So in the current, the current situation that we're in, um, we don't. Give me just a moment. Oh, we don't. Let me see here. We don't consider like while there is a possibility we could retake the institutions that the World Orthodox have. We don't necessarily assume that to be the case. We build our own institutions and continue. This is kind of the way we've always done it. And so this is why you find even in the 20th century ecumenical heresy cases of like St. John of Shanghai and San Francisco, his cathedral in France being a garage, and things like that. Okay, we've lost him. Um, Let me just see here. One moment. So I hope he comes back. Ryan, if you hear me, please come back. Give me just a moment. Okay. Give me just a moment here, and let's see here where we are. HCS is Esther a saint in the Orthodox Church. All Old Testament saints are saints in the church, so yes. Stephanie says, PA, storm's really bad. I've been without power for over 6 hours now. Oh my. That's not good. Prayers for the power to turn back on, and hopefully there are things that can be done. But prayers from us to Stephanie would definitely be helpful. Quintessential says, Father Joseph, may you prayerfully consider a crossover with Father Spiridon. Um, he's always welcome. I'm really not afraid to talk to anyone, so it's up to him. Sava says there's a Rokana parish in Las Vegas, I believe. Yeah, I'm not sure which parish Daniel's son's going to, so we'd have to check that out and hopefully find something. GOC parish in Vegas. Okay, so there's multiple possibilities here. Daniel, follow up, look in the Rokana directory. I could do it now in the GOC directory. John says, I don't know if that parish is with Rokana or the GOC. It could be that there are, in fact, two parishes. Sava says, isn't it listed on both websites? Well, yes, whether it's Rokana. Okay, well, we'll just see. If it's the same parish, work with the community there. Vegas is GOC. That's where the St. Nicholas icon is. Glory to God. Power just came back on. Oh, that was fast. Okay. Well, still prayers. I'm back. Did we review the video? We have not. SD, regarding Swiss Army knife price, is it missing something it's supposed to contain? It was developed by a priest in the 1920s to do services with a one volume text. So it will be missing a lot of the text in various local traditions. So that's why it's $10. Well, that's not the reason it's $10. The reason it's $10 is because they've made larger liturgical books that are that are there that are much more expensive, and so I think that's part of the reason why. Reconquista says, "What if I want buy a Facebook glasses and watch a service VR style? Would that work?" The magic word in there is watch. No, you're still not attending a service. You need to read the prayers. If there is no one physically there to read the prayers, there is no prayers. Hope that helps. Stephanie says, no, the book is literally missing pages. Okay, I'm not aware of that. The pages that are missing from what I when I look at archive, and you look at the 1930 edition, it does have all the listed pages, but those pages are just a calendar from 1920 to 1940 showing the Orthodox feast of Pascha, when the Roman feast, and when the secular feasts are. John A says, Metaverse Doxy, Ethan Wayne says, Bishop A forbids such celebration after the Moscow Patriarchate received a former Catholic cleric by Father James Siemens by vesting. OTP responds, even Irenaeus under the thumb of the Sergius MP. If they wanted him gone, he'd be gone. Yeah, exactly. This sort of spat, for lack of a better word, works out well for the MP because it gives people the impression that the MP is doing something about something that they're not really doing anything about. Does that mean that all the World Orthodox bishops would come together without TO? That can be an ecumenical council? No, they tried that in 2016 and it failed. That DTC says they already had a failed council. They did. Ethan Wayne, while I have no skin in that game, LOL, I'm just saying that Irenaeus is in a dispute with the MP at this time. He rejects reception of Catholic clergy by vesting. Well, that's fine. They can dispute all they want, but he's still commemorating the MP. OTP says that's an old story like 4 or 5 years ago. Yep. And apparently he's still commemorating the MP, so it doesn't matter. Anastasi said, my spiritual father explained to me you need Christian empire and a Christian emperor in order to call an ecumenical council. That can no longer be. That's actually true because that would represent the ecumenate or the inhabited world. And that is something that can't be done since 1453. Either way, it says, yeah, and it's ongoing. OTP says he can be against it, but if the MP and you're going to adopt it have much choice, he's always here a false flag traditionalist. Anyway, let me see here. It's basically a 4-hour drive from Las Vegas to several parishes in Southern California under the GOC. Bishop Accentios. Well, that's why I'm saying if there's a community there that's obviously working with the priest and the priest is sick, they should be still trying to do some kind of services. Quintessential says the Holy Spirit preserves the truth. Orthodox publication says bin. Remember the war? He says, I had to leave. What's the current topic of discussion? Well, we'll eventually, I guess, get to Father Mikhail's kind of thing. Let me just see here. Okay. Hold on. Save that. Okay. Let me see here. Daniel Langlois says Candace Owens has a video differentiating all Jews from those who practice Frankism. She says that those that practice Frankism are the ones we should worry about. What do you know about this? I've heard of that claim. I am not aware of I'm still not fully, still not fully into the whole Frankish, just kind of differentiation. I think that that may just be to help her kind of navigate as she's kind of being accused as being a massive anti-Semite. Sojourning One said, hello, Father Elias is sick and does not serve. Or the Joseph Father Andrew held the last service. Sojourning One says, as of July 2024 was the last time I asked. Maybe something had changed since then regarding the LP parish. Okay, if he wasn't alone, and he had parishioners, those parishioners should be doing something. Are you aware of the parishioners doing anything or trying to do things? I mean, they should be helping the priest and praying. I can't imagine having a sick priest and nobody wanting to help serve and do services and keep things going. Okay. Whether it just says in January or December, I can't remember. Also, a Rokor MP in Britain has stopped communion with the Romanian Patriarchate because they received one of our defrocked priests. Yeah, well, I guess that's true with the Antiochians there, too. Quintessential says, forsake not the assembling of yourselves. Quintessential Christian says, Father, do you have any merch to fund your ministry? I don't. I was going to work on it, and I haven't yet because I went into kind of a hole. So that is something that we do want to work for, but we haven't yet. There is incense, but I'm hoping to put that on the site soon. And there is another thing we're working on the e-cafe, but the e-cafe has to be finished on its next phase before we do that. So unfortunately, I've got a lot of ideas and I've got a lot of to-dos, especially with incense. I need to make more oil, and it's actually been kind of busy and weird. Gonzalez says, good to see you, Anastasi. Cornelio says, so much unity within World Orthodoxy. Yeah, it's a disaster. Anastasi says, good to see you too, Slava. Hardy Pacomia says, good evening, everyone. Father, okay, I guess I'm just putting up stuff now. Father, what are your thoughts on the Free Serbs? They are not one unified body, so I cannot make any statements on them. Cornelia says, that I agree, Subdeacon. That's why I'm perusing the two Orthodox parents, but there's nothing near me. I'm near Liverpool. Closest would be Berghampton or Church of the Gauls in Manchester. The Church of the Gauls is, to my understanding, New Calendarus. So I wouldn't go there. And I mean New Calendarus as Gregorian Calendarus, as they just straight up have a Roman Catholic calendar. Ethan Wayne says Orthodoxy in Britain seems to be in a very sorry state. Yeah, unfortunately, that's. Let's see here. Sava says, hello, Father. Did you make it back to Ohio safely? Hardy Baconia says, my flight leaves tomorrow. Archbishop Ernest is taking me to the airport in the morning. Orthodox Traditionalist Publication says, I want to visit Liverpool. There's St. Edward's in London. I know it's a bit of a distance. Yeah. Saba says, I know a man who's with the GOCK in England. They're lovely. Reconquista Orthodox to have an ecumenical council with Gregory of Colorado would be invited, or would he not be considered? Most likely, he would actually be, if that were to happen. I mean, people in those kind of fringe situations, they might actually be invited for an explanation. Gregory would still have to explain why he separated from Roac, because his reasoning was based on false premises. He'd have to explain why he accepted in a uniate, and how he got apparent assistance from Macarius of Athens, the Macarian Synod, to do this, and why that uniate suddenly left so quickly after making Bishop John a bishop. Let me see. He says London is disgusting. Sava says I have an aunt who lived in the UK and lives in London. No idea why she moved there. I've never been to London. I'm not going to judge. I know that I've seen some horrible things about what's happening with the move of all these Muslims into London. But what I'm not seeing, I've seen regular English people get mad in London. I don't know if they live in the same neighborhoods, etc. Daniel Langlois asks, is there a way to help the monks in Esfigmenu? And again, I always refer people to esfigmenu.com. That has links to their Facebook, etc. You can also go to the Esfigmenu channel on Friends of Esfigmenu channel on YouTube and go to the About page. And they will tell you how to directly help monks in Esfigmenu. And I personally support that 100%. The monks are still, after many years, under a blockade from the Ecumenical Patriarchate, with increased support in Greece to free the monks. There's more and more news about that. And so hopefully, yeah. Higher Deacon Pacomian says, check out Friends of Esfigmenu, which Father just said as I was typing. Yeah. So that's the basic way to do things there. And so glory to God. Let me see here. And so let's take a look here. I just want to fix this. Okay. Okay, and I need to add, hold on. Hold on. I really wish I had some tech support, but I don't. Okay. Okay, almost done here. Yeah, I screwed that up. kind of trying to put everyone together. Okay, Ryan's back, I think. No, he's not. Your stuff is disconnected, Ryan. I'm not sure what it was, but just yeah, he disappeared again. Try again. That's all I can say. All right. Let's see here. Have you, by any chance, seen this video by Jordanville on not remaining silent? The danger of silence. Elder Savos of Mount Athos at Holy Trinity Monastery. No, that's just some new Athonite elder I saw. He's an elder. I have more gray hair than him. At this point, just call me Elder Joseph. I mean, it's just all ridiculous. These newbie elders that come in and you're supposed to obey them because they have the title Yaron. That's kind of silly. Atomic Lead says Hierodeacon Pachomius. Might I ask what synod you under? Hierodeacon Pachomius is actually under Archbishop Irenaeus. He's in our sister synod, Atomic Lead. I know Atomic Lead's in our synod, so that's why I say that. Ecumenism sucks says, oh well. Hi Ryan, you're back. Let's get to Ryan first, and then we'll get to that.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I think it was like some connection.
You disconnected or something.
Yeah. So, could you please repeat what you said during the last part about? I think you was talking about the church being waxing and waning over time, like the size.
Yeah, that's been part of history the entire 2,000 years of the church's existence.
Right. So if someone were to bring up like let's say someone were to present the argument that in order for the church to be visible, it has to be actually in a certain size that is not it can be reduced to like a simple remnant of a few people, let's say like 10 people.
Well, the church is always going to have bishops. If the church has no more bishops, then there's no way to organize, and at that point the Antichrist would have taken over, and at that point you're in the end game.
So as long as there's a faithful remnant of bishops, then
throughout the world. Now, to keep in mind, for context, in true Orthodoxy, there's somewhere around 120 to 150 bishops. By contrast, in World Orthodoxy, there's about 350 bishops. It's not that big a difference. It's compared to like Roman Catholicism, etc. But the whole point is, so administratively, we're really not that bad.
Mm-hmm. I see. Okay. Yep. Thanks.
Any other questions, or that was okay? Very good. All right. Yeah. Well, God bless you. You have a great night, Ryan.
You too.
Thanks for being on. Okay, so let's see what we got going. What else do we see here? Ecumenism sucks says, what do you say to people who think Western right leads to union with the rest of the West? I'd say it's not legitimate Western right, and ecumenist Western right probably does lead to union with the West, which is why you keep seeing so many Western right, World Orthodox just becoming Roman Catholics. It's just there. Hierodeacon Pachomius says, I'm under the Synod of Loma. Yes. Cornelius says, I think my closest chance is still to just contact the Romanian True Orthodox parish. My only concern has been that the Romanian tradition only permits communion every 40 days. I am not Romanian, and I am not qualified to answer this question, but I would say reach out to them, because if that is also, I assume if that's generally a Romanian tradition, then unfortunately you're not going to escape it in World Orthodoxy. That's something you got to deal with them. I've never heard that. It sounds odd, but I've never heard that. I have no idea whether monks and nuns are literally just communing every 40 days. I mean, it's interesting, but I have no idea. Atomic Lead says, thank you very much. Daniel Langlois says, Pre-Schism Western Rite is awesome. That's true. Pre-Schism Western Saints are also awesome. Saba says, I know a man with Slatiara in Britannia. If you don't know Romanian, they don't want to deal with you. Okay. Atomic Lead says, big agree, DL. Orthodox Traditionalist Publication says, NFTU, I'm out of here. I start another class tomorrow, so I'll be off radar again for another 2 months. We're going to miss you, OTP, and we're so glad you were here today. It's great that you're still publishing, and so, God bless your success on your class, and, continued success in getting things done. Sava says, if you know Romanian, you're fine. I knew someone who went to visit them. The priest didn't want to deal with him or his family because they knew zero Romanian. I can't I can't speak for Romanians. I'm not Romanian, and I don't want to be unfair and say you're right, Sava, and I don't want to be misstating and say you're wrong, Sava. I just feel like maybe just grouping people in national monoliths is weird. Cornelia says, I'm a native Romanian speaker, Sava. I'll survive. Awesome. So yeah, see, I was fixed. On Team Warfare says, I would say that St. John Maximovich was fully supportive of the Western right, and and if it's pre-system Western right, how could it lead to that? Absolutely true. Sava was saying that I figured, just wanted to make sure. Ecumenism sucks. That I've heard the argument of people saying the Western right always leads to schism or unification with the West. The argument I've seen is those remain Western right beyond the schism. That's a little bit what's the word? That's a bit of an oversimplification. Like it wasn't like the West left because they were Western right. They left because as more people are starting to notice, Hildebrand of Savannah created a new religion, and then they literally stomped everyone out of existence who didn't agree with their new religion throughout Western Europe. So it had nothing to do with ritual. Sava speaks in what appears to be Italian. Reconquista, wouldn't HNIC be the true Orthodox in an ecumenical council since world Orthodox is heretical? Don't know what HNIC is. Maybe I missed that. Humanism sucks. The state Orthodox, I should add. Yeah, but it's still based on mistaken understanding. Okay, I'm going to skip the Italian comments. Anastasi says, I'm having a hard time understanding how the pre-schism Western Rite was preserved. Pardon my ignorance, but beside the liturgy of St. Gregory, ones are there? Loaded question. First off, in terms of manuscript evidence before the 11th century, there are hundreds of texts. And so those are all preserved. But the liturgy of St. Gregory, or the Roman Mass as we know it, in many cases just existed in various forms. For example, like in England and like in the British Isles, and to some degree in France, there was a kind of a in and out with that one. So the Roman Mass, or the liturgy of St. Gregory, has many different kind of minor changes to it, like the liturgy of St. John Chrysostom. So it's important to remember that. But there are other liturgies, like the Mozarabic is preserved in full, and let me think here. I know that there are a lot of local uses of the Roman Rite, like the English Rite, the Nidaros Rite, etc., that are preserved, but they're basically just the Roman Rite. John A says, Father, are you still working on a book? Yes, I am. However, as anyone will tell you, as this is kind of a job. So when things start going awry in life, there are things that go on the back burner, and I'm trying to keep everything together. I am hoping to have an update on the book by the end of the week. I'm hoping, John. Okay, let me see here. Ecumenism sucks. Yeah, I find that interesting, but apparently that group has gone to communion with Rome or something like that. I have no idea who you're talking about. Ecumenism sucks. Cornelia says, I'll call him tomorrow morning. Very good. Ethan Wayne says, are you guys in communion with Holy Transfiguration Brookline? Nobody's in communion with Holy Transfiguration in Brookline. Even most of the people who followed Holy Transfiguration in Brookline over the historically, they the 2012 breakoff led to most of their parishes joining the GOC. So they're basically a rump synod at this point, and they're trying to create new missions, but it'll all be based on I don't know what. Ecumenism sucks. What are your thoughts on the Sarum Rite? Used it for over 10 years. Still celebrated at the Abbey. It's usually called the English Roman Anglo-Roman Rite because technically it predates the name Sarum. It's lovely. And it's very orthodox if it's done properly. Reconquista Orthodox says, Father, thoughts on Father Turbo Qualls? I don't watch too much of him, but I've heard he's funny, and as Savez said, so I guess yeah, I don't have any knowledge of that right now. Humanism sucks says, you do the Sarum Rite? No, ever since I was ordained a priest, I have been, for the sake of my family, on the Eastern Rite. Again, I'm putting on the little screen thingy, the little banner thingy, helped, just to note. Okay. Hold on a second. Support the channel. We at NFTU need your help. Support us by subscribing or donating at NFTU.net with various options like PayPal, Cash App, BTC, LTC, or Monero, or give on Give, Send, Go. And thank you to your donations in this stream. And so this has been very, very helpful in that sense. So glory to God there. And I will, if I hear anything else, I will let you know. But let me see here. I think that basically covered everyone. And if you give me just a moment, I am going to, I want to check one thing because you can't always check like things like the crypto. I don't always get crypto, but just, full disclosure. I like full disclosure. So I'm going to open that up. But in any case, let me see here. And we continue. So, okay, it asks for password, stinking machine. Anyway, if you want to support the channel, we'd really appreciate it. Let's continue. We have 7 more comments. Let's see here. Saba says, Ladika Enoch says the terms like Sarum, Gallican, and Brojan, etc. are misnomers. Yes, that is correct. There's a lot of mistaken thinking because of post-schism Latin kind of clarifications that actually made things worse. Daniel Landlord has asked, will we ever do a special on the old believers and the events that took place in the 1600s? I'm curious as to how Russians made the sign of the cross differently before the reform. Yeah. First off, somebody mentioned that to me in my comments this week, and I started looking up texts because I want to be accurate when we talk about the old believers. If you're just curious how the Russians made the sign of the cross, this is technically what's known as the iconographic form, like that. And so it was like that. And instead of hitting their heads with the 3 here, they would hit their heads with the 3 here. That's it. That's the big difference. So how can heretical bishops be part of an ecumenical council since most of the bishops are heretics? They're judged by the council. They're not really part of the council. And so some says these are later attributions by historians, specifically Roman Catholic historians. Like, how did the 2 signs of the cross come about? Well, in some ways, this sign of the cross was actually, in many cases, known as an earlier tradition. And so basically what happened was when they standardized the sign of the cross, because there were different kinds of signs of the cross. You can also read Apologist, and he says something like this or something. The point is that when it was standardized, because people were starting to, because technically all signs of the cross started okay, but it's when you started adding heretical signifiers. So, like, for example, you'll see this in an icon, and that, EC, XC, and it shows the unity of the Trinity, divine, human. But then you'll see Monophysites start doing this. And that's a bit of a problem because now you're trying to focus on the supposed one nature of Christ when he had 2 natures. So eventually the church settled on this, which was settled on by East and West. But by then, Russia had already gotten used to this, which is still used as a blessing hand by a priest. Whereas some lay people bless like so. So what ends up happening is, in some ways, the Russian tradition was older. Well, not older than all of them, or not even older than this. But the point is, the Greek usage had been settled among the Greeks and the Latins like this for making the sign of the cross, and like this for a blessing hand. This was still okay. So really, the distinction wasn't really about whether this was okay or this was okay. The distinction was about whether lay people should be blessing themselves like priests. So that's where a lot of the root of it came from. Let me see here. It's okay. It does. It's the point is it was used in more than just Sarah. Anyway, so yeah, it was used in more places than just serum. That's what the difference is. Let me see here. Let's shut off the banner and continue with the comments. From what I understand, The old Russian style used to be the old Antiochian style also, and it was the 2 fingers to touch the head. My family stems from old believers. I'm going to take your word for it, Cornelio. So if you're saying that it's like this, and I'm guessing really maybe like that, that's possible. Sure. I don't know. I don't know enough about old believers. It's mostly stuff I know from the literature and from the very few interactions I've had with wannabe converts from the West. Hybrid Deacon Pacomio said at a council, the accused are allowed to defend themselves even if it's known that they're to be in heresy. Basically, they're heard and given a chance to repent, not so much getting a vote. Iterants being put up on the screen, it was pretty much straightforward. It doesn't get clearer than this, guys. The answer to why heretics were at the council is to be judged by the councils. I mean, Eris was a Nicaea, Discourse with a Chalcedon. Reconquistas, who are the old believers? They are a break-off group in the 17th century that broke off from the Russian Orthodox Church over the grounds that people were messing with their liturgical books after the the liturgical reformation done by Patriarch Nikon in the 17th century to get the books in line with the Greek and other national churches. Some portion of the Russian people felt that the Greeks were Latinized and fled off and, declared the Russian church to be heretical. Nobody agreed with them. They eventually stopped having bishops, stopped having priests, and they went into various heretical sects, except for a few desperate folks who went looking for more bishops. And there's a whole story to that, the Adino Veri, etc. And they, when it came to the revolution, they were heavily against the Tsar. And when it came to the revolution, they were supporting the Soviets to some degree. Let me see here. So I hope that helps. Fronimo Municipality contributor says, good evening. Good evening. Cornelius says, another channel I think I would recommend for GOC inquirers, especially in Indonesia, would be the channel of Bishop Daniel of Jakarta. I would not doubt it. If it's not already on my page, I will definitely look for it tonight. Bishop Daniel now runs the GOC in Indonesia. The official recognized Church of Indonesia, Orthodox Church of Indonesia, is under Bishop Daniel, who is in the GOC Clinicos. And they also have a very large presence in the Philippines, which we were once involved with. So we certainly know the numbers and people are there. They are certainly doing the work of being. He's certainly doing the work of being the Orthodox hierarch for that region of Asia, and I hope he has more success. MT says the Orthodox Monophysite split in a nutshell, or any book recommendations on the matter. Yeah, I would read the Fourth Ecumenical Council, the Council of Chalcedon. I'd read the Acts of the Council of Chalcedon. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to really, they were trying to protect themselves from Nestorianism. They went too far in the other extreme, declared that Christ was some sort of united mix of God and man, as opposed to being clearly God and clearly man. A bunch of the saints, including St. Leo, rejected this insanity. The council rejected the insanity. But because they had some presence, in Egypt, they split off. They supported Dioscorus's party, and they broke communion with the rest of the church. And then eventually, I guess, certain groups that agreed with the Monophysites, like the Ethiopians, would eventually join with them. And then eventually they'd help Islam try to take down the Roman Empire in certain areas. And then fast forward 1,500 years later, and here we are. Reckonkeys says, Gregory, Colorado, no believer. No, he's a renovationist. He tends towards modernist understandings of things like the 7-day creation, so on and so forth. And he's to some degree a Hellenophile. Unseen Warfare points out, important to note that St. Philip denounced old believers while he was in full Eucharistic communion with the true Orthodox. We are not the same as them, contrary to certain narratives pushed. Yeah, between the Monophysites pretending that they're true Orthodox and the old believers pretending that they're true Orthodox, when both of them have abandoned Orthodoxy, is risible. Hardy Macomia says no, but he's something else. Not quite sure, but it's something. Yeah, he's just at this point, he's kind of an isolated schismatic. Reconquistas, I saw a Church of True Orthodox was lost to the World Orthodox. Many such cases, unfortunately. They like stealing our buildings. It was used all over, but it was attributed to the Archbishop of Salisbury, which is why it is called Sarum Right. Still don't get why it's a misnomer. Well, the simple reason is because of the fact that he's not the author, editor, or composer of the liturgy. Even from the liturgical text, we know that liturgy was there hundreds of years before him. So to call it the Sarum Rite or to call it Salisbury by Roman Catholics is a misnomer. MT says, I'm from Egypt. That's why I'm interested in the topic. I believe it. It's happening. There are more and more people interested in Orthodoxy in the Middle East. I know about it. John A., do we know when the three-finger sign of the cross became the norm among the Greeks? I have no idea. That would be an interesting subject of research, and my guess would be probably somewhere around the 9th or 10th century. Sunrise, I was listening to an Art Talk video, and they called St. Augustine Blessed Augustine and saying something along the lines that was more proper terminology. Thoughts? Yeah, it's more proper because it's always been used. He's still a saint. If they are implying anything different, then they're falling into modernism. Sava says, blessed just means saint. That's correct. World Orthodox tends to slander Bishop Daniel and claim he's an ecumenist because he was at a local gathering in his area where Protestants were also at. Apples to oranges situation, grasping at straws. Foremost Sinner says, Father bless, God bless you. On the topic of the old rite, what do you think of old ritualist parishes being received in the Roe Corps pre-2007 and allowing the use of the old ritual? I think nothing. I think they allowed that in like 1970. As did the Moscow Patriarchate around the same time. I think it's nice if you go into an old ritualist church. Good luck, if you know your old ritualist prayer book and you know when to do your vows, you won't look silly. And if that's, I'm not telling anyone to not go to, an old rite parish as long as it's true Orthodox. If it's not true Orthodox, I would say don't go there. Sava says the whole blessed different from saint is Roman Catholic, and Russian specifically blessed usually means a fool for Christ. That's correct. In Greek, they will use the term hieros, which just means saint. Yep. Usually that's reserved for the apostles or people who lived through the time of Christ. I know some saints say hieros Augustinos, but that's not proper. No idea. All right. So let me see here. I am moving through my different things. And Reader John says, I pray everyone is having a blessed struggle. Welcome, Reader John, as I move through different things. And I know we were going to talk about Father Mikhail's video. It is a very tempting title, so let's do that. And before we put that video on, once again, I'm just going to say support the channel. We at NFTU need your help. Support us by subscribing or donating at nftu.net with various options like PayPal, Cash App, BTC, LTC, or Monero, or on Give, Send, Go. If you want to leave a super chat, it's always appreciated. However, it does not get to me immediately. So that's where I am there. Give me a moment, and let's see here. Recklin Kisa says, is the firmament compatible with Orthodoxy and flat Earth? I personally am not a fan of that question. Is it? Most likely, sure. I'd say yeah. But the problem is this. The firmament works in a number of different ways. The firmament has support from the fathers. Flat Earth does not have support from the fathers. Just find better friends. That's what I would say. Unseen Warfare says Genesis, creation, early man explains that the firmament was a thicker layer of the atmosphere, which isn't the same after the fall. The scriptures also allude to a sphere. Recognition says, woo. Father, I noticed that Roots of Faith channel was trying to get in contact with you. He posted it on a TTC post. And I have posted in our community chat, or now it's known as posts on YouTube, that I have not heard from him since. At first, he was saying he couldn't get my email, and I said, it's on my program page on YouTube, and I didn't hear anything back. So I did write him. We can look at that if we want. I'll just, well, before we get to this, let's just let me see here. We'll share screen. There's Father Michael looking a little angry, looking fella. So sorry to hear that. Well, let's see here. So we go to the posts. As you can see, I did note I still have not heard from Roots of Faith podcast yet. My email's still in the bio. Don't know what happened. Oh well. So let's go.
That manifests this toxicity that does nothing.
I missed something. Hold on.
instead manifest this toxicity
What?
that does nothing to speak to the witness of the truth of the faith.
Well, I'm confused. What's he starting with? Debt manifest toxicity? Is this from something? Oh, I don't see it really coming from something unless it's coming from Bible Illustrated.
Instead,
So
manifest this toxicity that does nothing to speak to the witness of the truth of the faith, only to the truth of their own glaring egos.
okay, that was kind of. Come on, that's the music that you hear like with the Father Peter Hears videos, but like I'm sorry. He just looks so mad. He's like, "You mad, bro? Okay, all right, hold on, let's go."
Hello, everyone, and
Hello.
God bless.
God
This
bless.
is Father Michael, or Father Mike, with another episode
What?
of Living Orthodox. And today is a reflection. It's really a video that I hoped I didn't and I wouldn't have to make. But
Okay, first off, he sounds legitimately traumatized for some reason. Like, no offense, if being skinny means that you now have to refer to yourself as Father Mike, gain it back. Eat more beans. Do it.
here we are.
Here we
And today's topic that I'm addressing further is the delusion of the online zealotry that we see coming.
Zeal not according to knowledge. Have a crying dog. The crying dog is getting upset about this. She doesn't want to see this video.
From many Orthodox, and not just the old calendar of zealots, but many within the canonical church worldwide, and the zeal of these laymen who have not overcome their Protestant ethos.
They've not overcome their Protestant ethos. Yeah, Father Michael is now a liberal bean. Should have put the dog in the burning. Bean maxing. He needs to eat his greens. Reconquista said, eat red cow meat. That's not allowed. Harangue against online orthodoxy, the Ortho Bros. And with that, maybe what we really need, what will make this better ever so slightly, might be. All right, let's listen. Let's get our Ortho Bros in here.
So with that said, let's get into the topic of the video. I've seen comments sometimes coming through on my wife's videos, which are mostly positive. But I also see comments coming from people who clearly did not have the attention span to make it through either more than 5 minutes of the video, or if they make it to the end, they kind of selectively pick and choose what points they're going to attack and then completely ignore other things that refute the position that they're taking. This is a form of calumny, guys. You need to understand, when you put words in someone else's mouth and say, you're saying this, or are you saying this, but it's in a very passive-aggressive
Okay. First off, I'm getting all sorts of there's like fire coming out of the chat now. Like, what is this? He's in the comments talking about you and saying your position is crazy or something. Wait, what? Really? Oh man, how come they don't ever invite me on these? Maybe I should check. Ecumenism sucks. Anyone got any? No one cares about Telegram. Go away. Okay, Ecumenism sucks. I just don't like Telegram. So good to. Why is there rap music? Oh, I put that on. That is our that is the theme music for tonight. It's Orthodox Ethos's canonical patois. His father playing music in the background. It's yeah, we all know. He's also calling true Orthodox Protestants, and then someone that says he doesn't have a parish anymore. He lost his parish? What? It's a long story, Reconquista. It's in the beginning of the watch from the beginning. What happened to his beard? Well, he had to lose weight, so he took it off, I guess. I don't know what's going on with any of this. But Reader John, welcome. What's going on here?
Father bless.
May God bless you in the name of the Father, and the Holy Spirit.
Wow. That was the last man ever ordained by Metropolitan Hilarion of Rocore MP.
Wow, really? Oh,
Yes.
okay,
If you look at his earlier videos, that's his claim to fame.
Yeah, so he's in the comments, and what he was saying, he was talking to one of our guys, and he was like, "You're a Protestant because because you're a zealot or something." And then he was like talking about that video with you and Whiteford and calling you insane.
Where is
basically.
this happening?
I'll try to find it. Hold on. Let's see. I think it's in that comment section.
You know who else used to be on that channel?
Yeah, Subdeacon Victorious.
I bet he's detoxing from that.
All right, guys. I am just not going to respond to the comments about his looks. I feel bad. Like,
well, I think it's shameful that he's kind of.
What's going on with him? Why is it? What's?
Well, I mean, he mentioned his wife's podcast, so she has a podcast too, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they like just decided they needed to diet together or something. I mean, I don't know what his wife looks like, but he was never like a fat guy, in my opinion. I don't understand. Yeah. I'm a fat guy. Like, he was just a middle-sized guy.
He kind of looks sickly a little bit, though. I'm not.
Yeah, no. People are noticing that John MC, the Orthodox. I know you're not meaning to be insulting, etc. I realize you might actually be worried he's dying of AIDS. I don't know what happened. I just assumed he really wanted to be super skinny, like that's kind of like anorexia kind of stuff.
Well, he used to live on the East Coast, or not East Coast, on the eastern side of Canada.
I do not know if he got the vax.
So there's a comment here that says cough, Subdeacon Nectario's cough, and he says probably that's funny. The thing about neurotic behavior and confirmation bias, God bless him. So that's what he says about him, and he's
all
also
right.
it's on this video.
Okay, let's do warfare. Before we go any further, let's watch and comment on the video before we start the comments. I realize that there's a lot going on in the comments, but we got to watch the video because fair is fair. All right.
Let's go through the pain first.
Way, you are still committing the sin of slander. You are still canonizing.
Okay. Who is he talking about?
Zealots.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
And it's no coincidence. I notice this happens every single Lent. Okay. And I get it. It's hard. We're all fast.
How many Lents has he actually experienced in Orthodoxy? Like 6?
Probably less than me and you.
Yeah, no, I know. No, I know it's definitely less than me and you. The whole point is he's a fairly new convert. Maybe that's why he prefers to refer to himself as Father Mike, because I don't know.
Maybe he's getting in touch with his Uniate roots. Who knows?
Well, he wasn't a Uniate. He was a Protestant.
But he was also from a Uniate family.
His parents or his grandparents were Uniates or something.
Yeah.
So he's a Protestant, and he's constantly calling people Protestants that disagree with his position. It's crazy.
Well, he's speaking from
experience. But you know where he's getting that from. I mean, when you listen to this, close your eyes and think Father Peter. Except I think to Father Peter's credit, I think he has a deeper voice at this point. I think Father Michael or Mikhail used to have a deeper voice, but I guess when he lost weight, he lost his voice.
A lot of weight, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Ardeacon Pacomius says he will be union for long. Before long, World Court sure is different these days. And I'm not answering any of the other comments unless you send money with them.
Fasting, we're all abstaining from certain foods, or maybe some of us have dietary restrictions that allow us to eat certain things, but still the spiritual challenge is present. It's still there. And as a result, people lose their patience, but people also lose the ability, it seems, to attend and focus in a way that is really clear. So I'm going to use plain old baby speak here. And I'm not saying this to be nasty, but I'm saying this to give a firm correction.
I'm going to make your firm correction go at 125 because it's too slow.
We see in Orthodox talks online, in comment sections and in videos, the appraisal, assessment, and right criticism of the errors of different groups who call themselves Christian, right? We see that there are errors that we can point out amongst the Oriental Orthodox. There are errors that we see that we...
They're called heresies. They're called heresies, Father.
Oh, if they're the Oriental
Here we go again. Orthodox, their heresies.
Here we go again.
Errors.
Catholics. There are errors that we see that we point out amongst our own brethren, and there are errors that we see and point out in particular amongst Protestants who have, and I'm not saying this to offend anyone, but such a broad spectrum of belief. You have to use umbrella terms to kind of just make it more efficient, but they just have so many wide-ranging heresies to the point where many have fallen into a form of crypto-Arianism, semi-Nestorianism, or flat-out Nestorianism, just because they get hung up on word concept fallacies. And a lot of this we peg on the problem of sola scriptura.
To be fair, he's not wrong here. So let's give him that.
Yeah.
Where a Protestant will read a Bible verse, take it out of context, and say, well, see, it says this, and because it doesn't say this, it means that whatever you say or do on whatever topic is automatically wrong, and you've been debunked, and all this goofy talk. It's all just a bunch of liberal style catchphrasing. But you also get this amongst the old calendarists. You also get this amongst our own people, where they start.
Wait, why are you blaming us? Like we had nothing to do with this discussion. He's just like, well, it's also about the old calendarists. Like what?
Actually, a majority of us.
Skinny. You don't have to deal with that like the way you're doing. You know. So then the first second sentence is wrong. You should have used a dash instead of a comma here, guys. Anyway, but I'm not holding you back. That he understood. He knew.
It's actually a
Citing
different
canons
comment
in a
section
very similar
of one of his videos, but I sent it to you anyways. So
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Okay, let me see here. If, all right. Yeah, whatever it is, Hardy can become this. If he is actually, I really do hope he gets better.
Yeah, Lord have mercy on him.
Yeah, God have mercy. Sorry for calling you skinny there, guy, but you know, just being so rude. All right.
Way that Protestants will quote mine scripture. And so this is where I say, yet again, we need to take the planks out of our eyes and not focus on the splinter in our brothers. You know, we can't be so hard on our friends who are Protestant or our family who are Protestant because they just simply haven't come to the same understanding. They don't know any better, or they don't know any different with regard to what we believe. I'm sure it annoys me to no end seeing the constant mischaracterizations, the false accusations of what we believe versus what we actually don't believe, and just the pure laziness that goes into this way of addressing things that isn't really constructive and certainly doesn't make Christianity look good to the onlooker.
All right, so be nice to the Protestants. That's I guess that's the thing. I mean, I think I'm pretty nice to Protestants. Protestants love this channel. They come here and sometimes they want to fight. Sometimes they want to have a chat. You know, I'm down with it.
Sometimes they get a live stream.
Yeah, like well, I don't understand
because we're so bitter during Lent.
I don't know.
Who might be an atheist and has no concept of what it means to be a Christian, to go to church, to have a life built around your faith. But the same happens with these people who are like sola canon. You know, it's like only canons, only this and this. And there's no understanding that there's always been an ability for
canons,
sola
canonia or something. That's let's see here. Let's scroll down and
that's a new one. I'm going to write that one down.
Cleave to antiquity is here. He says, yeah, be nice. Okay. Hey, our channel, our rules, buddy. All right. All right. All right. So let's see here. See what we've missed. He's flirting with the Antiochians now, says stupid Albertan. Oh, that's bad. Orthodox Traditionalist publication was HNIC when they both had a podcast together. What is HNIC, guys? Am I missing something? I know it must be related to this somehow. No idea. Basically saying all traditional family roles is not for everyone, and men ought to be okay with their wives pursuing a career. I ain't even touching that. I don't know why I don't understand why priests really feel the need that this is something they've got to put in there. I'm no feminist by any means, but I'm not stupid. Johnny over nurturing the children full time. The woman has someone whose job it is to talk to her about stuff, and that would be her husband. So I ain't gonna do it
as long as she has a blessing.
Yeah, exactly. Leave us alone. Yeah, I know. He's like just attacking us. We're the world Orthodox boogeyman. It's just sad. Sunrise says you like charity and nuance, Father Joseph. Higher Deacon Pacomia says, speaking of Protestants, sola canona is just one. It's a slur. Head. Oh. No, that's not appropriate, guys. That's not appropriate.
What is it?
It's in the comment. I'm not repeating it. I'm
okay.
No. All right, let's get back to Or poor Father Mike.
For presbyters and for bishops to relax or exercise and force the canons, right? They immediately assume that it has to be this black and white thing. But we also have to remember that canons were written in specific times and places.
Not that. Don't say that it's specific times and places thing.
No.
You cannot make canons obsolete based on when they were written or.
Oh well, he's well.
Small deviations in the faith lead to complete
I don't
contempt.
see him hanging out in
Always
Real
that
MP
one
much
though. It's
longer.
always that one. Oh, times and places. Oh,
I can tell he's switching jurisdiction soon.
Wow.
Still
We're in different
They are
times,
still
so
under the
heresy
binding
is
power
now
of the church through the
acceptable.
power of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
These are not things that we cannot loosen a little bit. It's almost like we immediately then forget that the authorities in the church have the power to bind and loose. And so that also means we have the power to bind one's conscience or obligations to something or loose it for the sake of a pastoral purpose. And so when I'm pastorally saying something like, look, if you're a kid living at home with your parents who are Catholic and they're supporting you becoming Orthodox, I've had so many emails about this. Where parents will get dismayed because they said, look, I'm not there yet. I'm not sure if I will become Orthodox, but I support my son becoming Orthodox. But now he's refusing to pray with us at the dinner. Now we're not so sure we want to take him anymore. And you have to realize that you have to sometimes.
Okay, Treason and Theology writes, giggling little girls in their sewing circle and their LARPing church. So cute. Hey, look, this is actually a show we do every Sunday and have over a year. And if people ask us to review a video, we review the video. The fact that it is friggin' hilarious is not our fault. The fact that he sounds like a hypocrite is not our fault. The fact that he looks like he's, an aid station, not our fault.
He looks sick.
Not our fault, guy. So, people getting mad. I remember Fat Father Mikhail, and he was much better than this new skinny Father Mike. Just whatever. Just sad.
He comes across as more effeminate. No.
I don't. That's unfair. I mean, I've met skinny driving instructors before.
Well, no. I'm not talking about weight. I'm talking about mannerisms. He's changed.
Do you think so? I mean, I don't watch enough of him to know.
Well, I mean, I was Broker MP back when he first came in, so I mean, I had interactions with him before, but
I think there's something going on where these guys are getting placed under these anathemas, and there's some spiritual darkening going on. And as time goes on, it's you blasted me so much over time, you just get worse and worse.
Well, there's also a context. There's a couple prominent scandals going on in Ricor, and I know a bunch, especially the newer priests, are kind of jumped over to the Antiochian jurisdiction for some reason. So, I don't know why.
First off, Treason and Theology is very angry at us. He asks, is Beacon's World Ratman really talking about someone's weight? Look. Nobody here thinks I'm skinny. We all know I'm fat.
We're not under any delusions, unlike others.
we are honest about the fatness. So and Father Mikhail used to look like a normal weight priest, he's just regular. But he looks like he's literally been squished by one of those cartoon vices.
Yeah, we're making observations.
The thing is, if you're a long time, when I saw take Sauce Stash. That vegan chef guy, he lost 225 pounds in 2024 or 23. He goes from being a big fat cook to a super skinny cook. And that's okay. That's okay because he's lost weight and now he advertises health products and stuff. And people believe him because they know he was a big fat guy.
This guy's so mad. Look at him.
Well, what are
you so mad about?
He's on pause though. Come on.
We all have our struggles, and I think it's fair to look at other struggles without bias, All
right. Cleveland Antiquity says you will go to your Jewish doctor ASAP. Well, I mean, yeah.
There are no Jewish doctors out here. Sorry, buddy.
Hi, Father Pacomius. Well, Memento Mori, isn't that a liberal Protestant argument for why St. Paul spoke about the place of women, different place and different time? Yeah, that's also true. He's complaining about canons had a time and a place. Yep, that's ridiculous. So the Reckon Key says vaxxed. The Orthodox field says he looks like his soul has been sucked right out of him.
I mean, isn't it still standing that we should be silent when we pray in church? And that's not just women; that's also men.
Yeah.
You know.
Canada don't get the red dye 40. That makes you Chad. That's true. Stupid
Yeah.
overt Burton. LARPing is Father Mike's favorite insult. Recklin Keith says Father Joseph is about to have a beef with Father Mike. Well, I don't know if he wants to start a beef with. He wants to start a beef.
I don't
with
think
the
he's
original.
had beef in a while, to be honest.
Maybe he needs some beef.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Corn-fed.
Treason and Theology says, "LOL, you sound so effeminate." His weight. Look here, buddy. For somebody who's talking with a Lofton Pope pick, I don't think you have a real argument to stand on. And then he says you want to Sodom, freak.
Oh, come on up here.
Wow.
Yeah, if you're such a big guy, look.
If you're such a big guy, get up here.
You're so ready to do battle. There's a link at the top, right?
Because let me tell you something. Because every time somebody's talk trash in the chat and come up here, they kind of change their tune when they're in front of everybody else. Yeah. So come on up here.
Yeah. Okay. Come on, big guy. You can do it.
You notice he's saying something about mental illness, and this was a narrative pushed by the Soviets. So,
well, I don't know about mental. Let me see. Maybe it's all 5G frequencies. Maybe. You should fast for more. Okay, you tell me how to fast, buddy. Well, Father bless. God bless you. I think he's sick. I am not making a judgment. I agree, John. You guys are just judging, man. This is what Teo schizos are reduced to. He's lost weight. Must be possessed or something. Yeah,
but go ahead, Ron. Sorry.
No, please.
I think it's fair to judge, but just not condemn. You know, I'm not condemning Father Mike.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because he used to look like, a mid-sized Russian priest, and now he looks like an aged version of the kid from Home Alone. And
that's kind of funny.
But in any case, I feel bad.
He does look like Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin.
Culkin.
Okay, let's see. Oh, brother, Father Simeon says, "Oh, brother, he's not Orthodox. He's not a priest belonging to the legitimate church." Not very fair. President Maria says, "As a nutritionist, my opinion is malnourished." Oh, shoot, it just became official. But I also believe there's a spiritual aspect of it.
See, that was a drop mic moment.
Yeah, that's like, oh man, wait, we were all like, yeah, he's probably not healthy. And then when she's like, he's not healthy, I'm like, ooh, this is no longer a joking matter. Then he said you should fast with your yakking mouth more. Treason and John MC says, I think he is sick and unemployed. I don't know. It's getting dark, guys. When it gets dark in here,
and then you get an OLED flashlight.
Yeah, exactly. Are you mad because you can't have your meat and get your gains during Lent? T.O. is not beating the mental illness accusations. Well, here, come on, join up. If there's enough crazy people on, we can have one more.
I mean, let's be honest. You have to be crazy to be Orthodox.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the worldly way is so much easier.
Let's find out what's ailing him. Oh, they're giggling again. So cute. You realize, yeah, you're the one watching it, and you refuse to join up. So
that's not a giggle. That's a chuckle, sir.
Yeah, exactly. That's a guffaw. Anyway, John says, Treason and Theology. We're saying this Father Mike is a completely different person from Father Michael. Totally liberal. Okay, we hadn't gone to body snatching yet. I guess we're almost there.
He's transitioned. Well, I don't mean that way.
Buddy is talking about what we're doing during Lent, and he's sitting here insulting a priest. So
he doesn't care.
That's the point I was going to bring up on Scene Warfare. Usually, I notice when a YouTube priest comes on and starts throwing stuff around like that, it's usually because he's looked in the mirror and he has a problem with his own self.
Yeah.
Well, is he a priest? Is this guy a priest?
Who, this Father Mike? Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Treason and Theology.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, that guy, he doesn't. So he's just, he's a new Jay Dyer fan.
What's the word? Projection. Right. That's the word I'm looking for. Projection.
Father Simeon says, good night. God bless you. And be healthy.
Amen.
You think Father McConnell would have told women to pursue career over nurturing their children? I don't know. I have no idea about his personal life. All I know is he's married, and something about she might be pregnant and have a job. I don't know. That's it.
And has a podcast, apparently.
We are chuckling, sir. Please know the difference. Very true. Review his wife's video next. I can't do that. I probably won't do that.
No, then we'll be considered misogynist.
It's I have this chivalry thing going, and my wife prefers that, Matushka, that frankly, I don't attack the women unless they're like
exactly
holy evil demons, and I don't think that's what's happening here.
Yeah, like ones that wear cassocks.
Transition is a bad word to use, Reader John. LOL.
I know.
Father Joseph is the true Orthodox Moses McPherson. That's an insult to Moses McPherson. I mean, the dude's jacked. like I'm just a fat dude. And you guys are like, okay, yeah, he's the true Orthodox Moses McPherson. Moses McPherson is looking over at his weights right now, going, and this was.
I know. Father laughs more like what's that guy's name? Seth Rogen.
Oh no. Hold on, Treason and Theology said not a Dyer fan. Try again, Chunky.
Oh, good. Well, I like Treason and Theology a lot better now.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. That's what you're doing, Treason. Treason and Theology. Are you with Rocor or they were just catechumen? We are not making a judgment on this. Thank you, though, for supporting the channel with $2. Treason and Theology. You just insulted Father Joseph or wait, you do the same thing. I'm okay with it though. Chunky. I don't know. Well, now I'm like thinking I should kind of change my name on this. Just like
oh no. Here we go. I see merchandise.
All right, so let me see here. Is there any need for the papist for this to be this ticked off? He's just appeared out of nowhere. No, I have no idea who he is, but he's afraid to come on the show. So let's finish watching the video. Come on, let's do this. I want to be done before 11, guys.
Yeah,
it hurts me to be online this much.
To relax certain things or allow for a little bit of fairness to come into play, so that this person can have a relationship with their family, obey the commandment to honor thy mother and father, which still stands. It's not annihilated in light of one choosing to become Orthodox, and still be able to practice their faith and maybe provide a good witness to it. Because if a parent sees, and I've seen this too, their kid becoming more obedient, more loving towards them, more humble, then that parent eventually starts going, okay, I want to come to that church and I want to see what is happening here that is just having such a wonderful effect on my child's life. But these short-sighted people who, forgive me, I'm just going to call it out, are stupid. Because they have the inability to critically or flexibly think. They need it just constantly dictated to them. And they go click.
All
and I don't disagree with him.
I don't.
But then he kind of sinks it with his criticism.
Oh, okay. Unseen Warfare has finally revealed his face on our channel.
Oh, man.
Not sure. Not sure why. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Anyway, it's just going to be all insults today, but this hurt me, Reconquista. He said, "Buy super male vitality, Father Joseph," and it hurt because what I really need is my green drink. Now, y'all have mentioned the green drink. I've run out. I've run out of green drink.
Oh,
and it's actually heartbreaking. The green drank. Well, I guess I could show an ad for it. Hold on, just give me a second because now I feel like I have to. But
don't get in trouble for it.
No, it is a legal thing.
Okay.
It is a legal thing, and on top of that, it's a supplement.
Okay.
Hold on one moment. And I've run out. I obviously do not have enough for a subscription.
Is it greendrink.com?
Yeah, hold on. No. Hold on. Okay. If you must know, wow, you really can't find the original. Can't find the original thing. Okay, hold on. I'm confused.
Is it that, what is it called? Like Greenies or something like that? With a bunch of supplements mixed in?
I found it. Hold on.
Yeah.
So I'll share this tab instead.
Yeah, that happens when you're tired.
Here's the mighty green drink I have talked about, and I've run out.
So if you'd like to donate,
That's right. The green drink was made by Chuck Norris.
Oh yeah, that's gotta be good. Man.
I believe in always being prepared for the unexpected. That could mean a natural disaster or even a threat to your loved ones. But what if the unexpected danger wasn't something outside your door, but inside your own body? Achy joints, digestive issues, weight gain, and fatigue. We're told these are normal signs of aging, but in my experience, it could mean something much worse. I call them the 3 internal enemies, and they are wrecking the health of millions of Americans right now. Most of them don't even know it. But the good news is, if you know what they are, there's a way to feel better. Not in years or months, but sometimes in just days. So you're healthy enough to take on anything the world may throw at you. And I'm living proof. That's me, Chuck Norris. You probably know me as one of the biggest action movie stars of the last 50 years. I also served in the United States Air Force, and I'm a world champion black belt. The things I value most in life are my faith, my family, and my country. But there's one more really important thing we don't talk about enough, our health. And as we get older...
So anyway, I'm going to speed past this so we can get to the
How
actual
old is
drink.
Chuck Norris now?
Chuck Norris is 84, and he drinks this stuff every day.
He's still pretty buff, too.
It's a plant-based ingredient. It's basically the main ingredient is artichoke, Jerusalem artichoke, and it has a number of probiotics as well as a number of other really useful stuff. I don't have the can with me.
It's more for gut health.
Yeah. Okay. He just turned 85, actually. Okay.
Wow.
The point is, I was like, okay, if an 84-year-old Chuck Norris swears by this drink that he supposedly formulated himself, I mean, maybe I'm just a little too brand sensitive. Maybe I just I'm easily manipulated. But what I will say is he did say this one part where he said, give it a try for 2 or 3 days. And if you don't see a change, your money back. So I did. I said, I'm going to buy, there was like $50 a can for like 30 servings. And I did. I bought, I tried for 2-3 days straight. And I felt better. I woke up earlier. I found myself
You're reinvigorated.
Yeah, I felt good. It helped me a lot. And I got to my last serving of it like 2-3 days ago. I haven't actually had it yet.
How do you feel now?
Stare at it. I'm doing better, but I'm drinking a lot more water and I'm kind of compensating. I'm drinking those not yogurt things. So I'm looking for things that have the probiotics. When I was pre-Lenten, I was doing the yogurt things. It's kind of awesome. Unseen Warfare is reading a lot of negative comments. I'm sorry about that because Treason and Theology is clearly jealous of him.
Yeah, he got quiet.
Everyone needs.
I don't know what to say. I mean, what does he want me to say? Like, okay, all right.
So the point is,
say bless your heart.
It worked. I believed it. It worked.
That's funny. I've actually been looking at that stuff, but knows how expensive it is too.
Yeah, John says, "Have you tried kefir? It's pretty good outside online." Of course I have. But this isn't kefir. This is the best part. It's green, so it looks like, and like it has spirulina in it, so like you can actually see like the pond scum form on the top, and you just have to stir it back.
Like
but
kombucha?
it tastes like Tang. Like,
is it like kombucha though?
No, like okay.
Tang.
Yeah.
Oh. I haven't heard that in a long time.
It tastes like Tang. It's an energy drink that tastes like it's like so good. So if anyone would like to donate $49.95 so I can buy the green drink one more time for this month, please do. I'd really appreciate it. So good. Okay, let's get back to, now that we've had our health break, let's get back to Father Mike.
Clicking on videos like the ones I've made or others, either looking to confirm a bias in the positive sense or in the negative sense, so they have someone to accuse and condemn, because everybody wants to LARP and roleplay as internet bishop and the internet modern day St. Maximus the Confessor or
like
St.
he's
Nicholas
doing right now
of Myra and Lycia. And
okay,
like he's doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, first off, you can't wax righteous about pretending to be. Wow.
You know he's brought up St. Maximus the Confessor too, though. So I mean,
exactly.
Well, he's got a name drop now,
Yeah, he's name dropping, and it's just like, okay.
I'm just waiting for St. Gregory Palma to be dropped now.
Or St. Mark of Ephesus. It's always St. Mark of Ephesus are like, oh, it pretends St. Mark of Ephesus. Yeah, okay, well, you're not the real one, so let's continue.
And yet they don't do so with a full understanding of everything that undergirded that behavior. They instead manifest this toxicity that does nothing to speak to the witness of the truth of the faith, only to the truth of their own glaring egos, which sadly many will then superimpose onto the rest of us and start accusing everyone of being an orthobro or being a liberal or being a modernist or being an ecumenist. I've been accused of being an ecumenist. I'm the furthest thing from that. I do believe that there's one church, that we can't compromise on our faith and morals. I don't believe that all paths lead to the same God. I truly believe that all paths go up a mountain, but whether you're going to be going off the cliff or reaching the summit, there's only one path that will lead you to the summit. There's only
why
one.
does he stay in communion with him if he's not?
Yeah, exactly. He's just staying in communion with his ecumenism.
Well, all I hear is hypocrisy, guys. Coming from this guy.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty sad. All right, let's go.
Path that will lead you to Christ, and that is his church. That is by way of the Holy Spirit and the sacraments. But a lot of good this is going to do you if the transformative life is absent from you. If you don't have peace, if you don't have patience, long suffering, if love is completely divorced from everything that you say and do, and I've had to learn this lesson the hard way, and this is why I've asked, and I will again ask for forgiveness. I know I can be spicy sometimes. I know that at times I've given hard videos and teachings that have caused more harm than good, and that's why I've changed the direction of the channel to be far more pastoral. And I base this off of my experience of serving in various parishes and dealing with various people. I also understand that human beings have behaviors and have a method of thought, and that they have feelings that can, even if they're misdirected or if they're rational, will nonetheless cause them to make choices that are either going to be very good or very bad in the long run. I mean, right now, my kids are choosing to misbehave. You might hear them screaming in the video, and when they misbehave and, the one starts.
That's pretty good noise canceling mic. I don't hear.
Yeah, I mean, I could hear the kids. I
didn't hear.
Well, why, I mean, the kids are just doing their thing. Yeah.
Hitting the sister, I have to come down on him. I have to put him in timeout. And it's the same with when people start misbehaving, whether it's online or what. The truth of the matter is, if you're behaving this way online and you think you're safe behind your weird username, your obscure profile picture, I really wish people would stop using icons as profile pictures, because
I'm kind of with him on this one. The hidden.
I'm not disagreeing with a lot.
Yeah, like if there were like hidden internet commenters who are like pretending to be real, even though they've kind of put this fake user ID and this fake kind of like profile picture on like that, to me, yeah, I agree. That's the height of hypocrisy.
I mean, all I really hear from him is like an amalgamation of Metropolitan Jonah and Father Peter kind of mushed together.
Yeah, he does.
Well, they do this weird thing about, like, what I will say about this is like the icon thing. They have this like strange false piety about it. Like, I know Death to Compromise went into one of their rooms and he had an icon as an image. But it was more like a logo, really, with a saint on it. And they freaked out on it. It's like this big thing to them.
See, that's weird to me, because I think icons can be a good reminder of what a dirtbag we are and how we can aspire to be to live a more holy life.
It's a form of veneration, but they take it into somewhere else and say.
I have to thank Reconquista for again keeping the lights on with another $1.99.
Thank you, sir.
No, I swear to you, it is not spicy. It tastes just like Tang. It's called Morning Kick, and it's fabulous.
I haven't tasted Tang in years. When did they get rid of that?
So good. Let me see here. Atomic Lead says, disagree on kefir with all due respect. No worries. Kefir is a very what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very
creamy,
unique. I'm gonna say specialized. It's a very unique preference. So completely.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay. Treason keeps on talking because he doesn't realize he's the exact internet.
He's a troll.
I mean, what is it? Like, everything he's saying is just to try to attack. Like, do you think I care? Part of being a Christian is like, we kind of run towards persecution, man. So I'm fine.
Or we just turn the other cheek and we don't listen to
the blessing. I appreciate it.
That DTZ says they knew it was TO based on the PFP. It's an acquired taste, John. That's the word I was looking for.
Acquired taste.
A lot of people don't acquire it. DTC says they knew I was TO based on the PFP, which is wild. Cornelia says I prefer the Turkish ayran. It's a lot smoother. By the way, kefir and ayran are variants on sour milk. So it just depends on what kind of sour you like more. But my green drank, it tastes like Tang.
Tang is packed by Chuck Norris. I mean, there you go.
Rick Conquista, thank you again for supporting the channel with this. When I drank green drank, it burned my bum for. This is not the same green drank.
Wrong green drink. I know what you're talking about. No.
Yeah, this was invented by Chuck Norris. It's not the same. Dutch supermarkets don't tell Iran. LOL chat messages are persecution. Yeah, well, I mean, depends on how you take them. Kefir is like liquid yogurt. John, yes. John MC says kvass. John says kvass is Sava's department. Yeah, these are not the same. These are just not as healthy. Let's finish this video.
Yeah.
Then when they start swearing or behaving like garbage online, it just drags the face of the saint, the mother of God, or Christ himself through the mud. And it's like, what kind of witness are you giving? Like, get over yourself. You're an egotist. You're not St. Maximus the Confessor. You're not Jesus Christ. And you're not the whole church. There has always been
we know that.
a economic application of how we apply canons and mercy. And there's also always been an acravia that we should hold to, a standard. I have said it many times, and I'm not sure how people are so blind that they don't see it. I've always said that I believe that the standard of baptism should be universally applied across the church, that all non-Orthodox should be received by this. That way there can be just no room for argumentation.
Yeah, but
I also do believe in obeying one.
That just countermands what he said earlier about the bishops.
Yeah.
The bishops in the canon. I mean, he's talking himself in circles. I hate to say it, but he really is.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No.
And the canons, despite all the argumentation, which goes to show that this becomes a sola scriptura style argument, where one person reinterprets a canon that seems to permit for the reception of the heterodox via another method, or that there is no permission for that. I mean, that's the problem. So what do we do? Well, the church is supposed to be the thing that we look to decide what we do in terms of our interpretation of scripture and how we apply our praxis. And if your bishop is saying, okay, at the bare minimum, we've
okay, I'd love to see the quote from St. John of this, because I have a feeling it's being really mangled.
Elder Savas of Mount Athos actually quotes that in his letter. He takes that quote because they used it against him too.
The real Elder Savas of Mount Athos?
Yeah,
not the new one.
Okay.
No, not that guy.
The new and improved Elder Savas.
Making sure.
Yeah, this is Reconquista, and that's why I use a Chad guy as my thumbnail, as I'm dragging the Chads through the mud. Yeah, very true. Yeah, very good thumbnail. John said that, but for Chuds, that's me. Okay. Memento Mori says a sunrise mentioned he posted in the thumbnail of his video comment about Canon 15. Curious if he's going to bring it up. He is not. I can already guarantee you that. I can save you the 6 minutes because he has already talked about mistakes in the church. Denise, thank you for the $10 super chat. Really appreciate it. Blessings. Wonderful. We continue on adding to the total that we put on the super chat line. Okay. Let's see here. And so, all right, I do see that nobody has volunteered for the green drink. Okay, that's all right.
Yeah. Nobody's come up here.
Nobody's coming up. Yeah, there's the trash talking fellow here, the Pope guy.
Bless his heart. Come on up here, buddy.
Agreed that if they've been baptized in the name of the Holy Trinity and in water, that you are going to chrismate them. You obey the bishop. We are not Protestants. Look at the letters of St. Ignatius of Antioch. He says, if you want to be in union with the church, you're in union with your priest and with his bishop. And you do that by maintaining peace with the bishop. You know, there are disagreements all of us will end up having with the bishop.
Blind obedience is what he's pushing for.
We may not like what the bishop tells
us. Wait, isn't baptism a matter of faith?
We baptize everybody.
Yeah.
That being said, there has been times where we've had to relax that, even as Rocor priests. I've mentioned stories where we've had to receive someone via chrismation.
Did you see the text he put up there?
She was just unable to accept this notion of more than one baptism.
No, I missed it. What I missed?
It said unless it's something about here, bearing that the bishop starts professing commended heresies, in which case one should contact the synod of bishop. So they
we've been through this. Yeah.
Welcome back to Father Peter. Okay.
We've been here before. Thanks.
Yeah. Rinse, repeat. Yeah.
Let me see here.
Wow.
And I gotta.
This is one big regurgitation of other people.
Yeah, it is. Okay, one moment.
Hopefully he's having a better Lent than he's letting on the video.
Hopefully. Let me see here. One moment. Okay. All right. So I think that's everyone. Oh, wait. No. Okay.
I think Denise was the last.
Yeah, but I have to. There's been others I missed.
Okay.
All right. So let's put here. I think. Oh, holy mackerel! We got a donation from our troll. Not a troll. St. Gregory Palamas is fire. Unseen, stop smoking the reefer madness. Not good for you, clearly. Okay. Well, I mean, you don't actually know that he is smoking anything. But thank you for the super chat and keeping the lights on regardless.
He delivers smoking quotes from Father Seraphim Rose. Or Saint Seraphim.
But yeah, I'll add you to the list. You
That's not enough for green drink there, buddy.
Keep donating and talking like that.
Yeah, exactly. You just keep on. You tell me how fat I am, sir. I will listen. I will just keep sending it in. Keep sending it in, man. All right. Anyway.
We need enough for that green drink.
We need enough for the green drink from Chuck Norris.
Mentioned stories where we've had to receive someone via chrismation because she was just unable to accept this notion of more than one baptism, and she was able to accept everything else. The family was ready to become Orthodox, and this was just the one impedance. So you annihilate that impedance for the pastoral sake of bringing everyone into the church and not prolonging things in an undue manner. That said, we of course shouldn't be too quick to baptize, but in this
what kind of lady was this?
Things so you annihilate that impedance because she was just unable to priest. I've mentioned stories where we've had to receive someone via chrismation because she was just unable to accept this notion of more than one baptism, and she was able to accept everything else. The family was ready to become Orthodox, and this was just the one impedance. So you annihilate that impedance for the pastoral sake.
What was she though? Was she Catholic or would you? I mean,
I don't know. I don't think he did.
So you can still do empty form on a person, and that would still. There has to be more to this.
But here's the thing: she thinks her baptism outside the church was valid.
Right, but then you would just there's ways around that, and I'm surprised that he didn't use any of them. So anyway,
bringing everyone into the church and not prolonging things in an undue manner. That said, we of course shouldn't be too quick to baptize, but in this particular case, this was going on for quite some time, for years, and you have to realize that once you finally get to that point, you have to.
What?
No.
Oh, I was hoping to
be willing to work with people where they're at. Jesus does not go to the woman at the well and start condemning her with hellfire. He doesn't tell the Pharisees to go ahead and stone the adulteress. He says, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone."
All right, hold on. We got another donation. I'm the only true smoker in the chat. Sig pill. All right.
I think he's going from one extreme to the other, though, because I mean,
yeah,
if the lady's pushing for chrismation versus baptism, and she doesn't have a baptism inside the church.
Yep.
I think that's a poor catechesis there. So that kind of falls on the priest, to be honest.
I would think so too. All right.
Yep. That's a matter of faith. I'm sorry.
Well, most of the time they'll accept, these Protestant baptisms and, just outright.
Yeah. So. All right. Let's see here. We're getting close to 11 and this video is not over.
Sorry.
I'm going to put that 1.5.
I'll be quiet.
All right.
Telling us is that if we want to be good Christians, if we want to uphold the law in its truest sense and not just let the letter of the law kill us, then we have to also apply it with the same mercy that God shows us day to day. And that includes today. We have all sinned and fall short of the glory of God. I mean, Boyan from Bible Illustrated made a fantastic video called if God was to eliminate all evil. And it goes to show that even what we consider minor, lesser, middling evils, he would have to intervene in. And that's true because God is absolutely good. There is no shadow of turning in him. This is in the morning prayers. This is in the communion prayers, in whom there is no shadow of turning. that means that God is perfectly good. There is nothing within him that is great on a moral level. The way that he exercises his mercy is in accordance with his will, with his wisdom, with his power, which far exceeds our own. So we have to humble ourselves a little bit here and say, okay, I may not agree with everything a priest online says. I may not agree with everything my bishop says, or what my rector says, or what my spiritual father says. But the one thing all of us seem to lack in abundance is the virtue of obedience. And obedience means being humble, being quiet, learning how to sit with something for more than 5 minutes, for more than 2 days.
Okay, stop ranting. I'm done. I don't, okay, look, just.
He lost me when you quoted Boyo and Bible.
Yeah, once he's like, boy, it's like, oh, here's some thing from cartoon guy. By the way, you need to be obedient. It's like, stop. Get off. I gotta go. All right, first off, I'm just gonna do this quick. I want to thank everyone, to Ryan who showed up. Thank you to Reader John, to Unseen Warfare, to our listeners, to those who had questions and had comments, those who support our mission. Support the channel. We at NFTU need your help. Support us by subscribing or donating at nftu.net, on Give Us and Go, or on Odyssey. Thank you so much for your support, everyone, for today. I really appreciate it. We really needed it. We remember all of you in our prayers, and thank you for all the support for NFTU. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great night, everyone. I got to cut it off at 11. Good night.
No. Yeah.
All right. God bless.